Pre-recording going, and then we'll get our basics coming here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are recording. I think we're pretty much good. Let me lower my mic and adjust my butt in my chair a little bit here.
We got some
We'll
talking.
Game. All right. Let me get a little swig.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's do it. Give me the call, man. Give me the signal.
I'll give you the countdown.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, par 5? 3, 2, 1. Action.
All right. The last word with Ebontis, and we are live. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to digest.
So much.
Man, oh man, I'm disheveled. I'm operating on no sleep, but I don't care.
But he's a trooper. He's a trooper out here.
I don't. So. Yeah, man, I don't care. Bungie has wow. There's a lot to unpack here. E, what's going on, man? What is going on?
So got a workout in, squeezed it in before all this started. I'm driving over. I'm like, let me see if I can get a haircut. Crap, Google Stadia starts. I'm literally getting my haircut, being the rudest person in the world. I already apologized to the person cutting my hair. Literally watching the Stadia thing go on. I was like, I know something's going to be in here. I know something's going to be here. And they're like, Founders Edition. I'm sorry, it comes with what? So Stadia started it early, which is why they had their timing that way. So Stadia went early. We'll get into that in a little bit. So Founders Edition of Stadia. Like everything in Destiny 2 Shadowkeep smashed in all there. So if you want to play on Stadia, yeah. So there's that. And then the hour-long stream from Bungie, which, before we get going, I do have to say, I think you can tell the grip has been lifted a little bit. They were free. They talked more candidly in that video, especially Mark and Luke in the beginning, than I've ever seen them talk. Like they were just their whole demeanor and everything like that was just, they got to say what they wanted to. They know they're not going to spoil everything, but they're not, hey, we can do whatever we want to. Hey, the internet, yeah, it's all black. Like whatever it is they want, like they were able to address everything, and I liked just the tone of how it started. So
yeah, the candor, just pure transparency. You felt like a release. You felt a freedom. You sensed it in the way they were taught. They were truly being themselves. And again, I don't want to use scapegoat stuff, but there was no overlords over them. They were being them, and that was refreshing to see, especially the way it started. It was just like two bros that love Destiny talking about Destiny and say, hey, let's get to it. So that was good.
Yep. So. Yeah, the leaks were fairly true that got out there. I tried not to get those too much through my channels, but they were definitely out there. So if you saw them, Shadowkeep is what comes in the fall. And they're not really batting an eye. It's September 17th. So you got Borderlands 3 on the 13th.
Woo!
And then Destiny on the 17th. So yeah, they're basically saying,
What's good? What's up? We not moving. What's up? What's good? Listen. Whoa! Right? That was the first we texted each other.
Nobody called that. Yeah.
Nobody called that, because I'll be the first to admit I was running scared. I'd have been like, we move our date back. I'm cool. They were like, no, we good. We good where we at. And that was a power move, man. That's a power move. That is confidence in what you are doing. And let's be honest, if they would have moved it, would we have been upset? Like, we would have understood the climate. We would have understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for them to do that, like, wow. So we're talking 17th, right? What are we talking?
September 17th, yeah. So it's a Tuesday. So we've got like a 2-week kind of break, I guess, because the season pass really goes through August, is what they said. And really, if it was August 27th through like September 2nd or whatever, would have been the last week of the previous season. We've got like, I guess, a 2-week downtime, which may be your transitions if you're doing other things, which they talked about. And we're just going to open this other can of worms.
Let's go.
Cross save.
Woo!
Everywhere.
Wow.
Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and the new player in the game, Stadia. All four. Like, literally, you playing on Stadia on your Google phone, which I've got Apple, so they said that might come later, but playing on your Google phone, sit home at your computer, log into Steam, by the way, who swung for him. And that's funny, like, they're gonna be like, Epic, oh, you got Borderlands? You got those? Steam's like, Destiny. Just dropping the mic on Destiny.
Yeah, that was big, man. And they did what was it? The Microsoft partnership with Halo as well. So Steam's back in the game, fighting strong. You know, obviously we knew Epic was out here being very aggressive.
I was like, Steam has a lot of money too, so don't. It's like they may just be sitting there, but they have a lot of money they've saved up too. So no question about that.
That was powerful. That was powerful. And I got stuff so much to unpack.
No, I know. I was like, there's going to be tirades and tangents and things like that. So if you guys are listening to this on audio, this may be all over the place and a long one in advance because it's however long this man can stay awake. But between what we've got with Shadowkeep, this thoughts about Stadia, we've got Season of Opulence because the raid launched and thoughts about how that's going so far. The raid race, like we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're kind of going reverse order of news. We're going to hit with just what happened and then work back to Season of Opulence toward the end because I know you guys want to hear about Shadowkeep and all this stuff going on first. So for Shadowkeep, where do you want to start? Do you want to do? I'll let you kind of take a topic and go because we're just going to have to hit all we want.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, you know, shout out to Lord Attic. I was talking with him. And, you know, it was basically a sequence of events. It's the cross, save. We got that. And that's what I was focusing on at first. Before you were Shadowkeep, and I'm just thinking, man, barriers, man. Like, Destiny is the ultimate friend game. And, you know, just between me and you before we doing this podcast, right? Like, you know, you're on PC, I'm on Xbox. I got a dedicated clan. You know, you made the move over. You're seeing how much better it is. And I'm just like, man. And then, you know, finally, when they went free, right?
They tease you with it. Yeah.
Yep. You're like, there's no excuse now.
Come on.
Vanilla's it. Come on. Like, he's roping me in. I'm like, all right. Got the new rig. Boom. So just to hear that and to think of all the stories. Shout out to Gaming Forte. I was on a podcast with him, Brat Podcast last night, and we were just talking. And what's funny is he literally put this in the air because we're talking about it, and he's like, yo, obviously the Stadia news leaked last night. And he's like, yo, what if like they gave everyone like an entry point of free, right? So you're like
nailed that one too, yeah.
I'm like, boom, and I'm like, bro, you on it. So just want to start with the cross table. I'll get right into Shadowkeep, which is that, dude. You don't understand how tremendous this is. Yeah. Like, this is an iconic moment for the franchise, and no more barriers. Everyone's playing together, and I could name so many players of Destiny that's like, hey, I'm on PS4. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm PC. Hey, and it's just like, we love this game but can't play together. Now you reinvigorate the base. You get everybody together. Shout out to Neo Mentor. It's overwhelming. When he said, I need new pair. Shout out to Neo. Bro, it is I was talking to Neo. Like, people are hitting me. It was an emotional thing. Like, yo, we're going to play together, bro. Like, that is insane. I just moved my character. So that's first. Let's get to Shadowkeep. Okay, Shadowkeep, man. But I heard Eris's voice, E.
Yeah, they did that reveal in like Stadia got the reveal trailer first. What do you think of that, actually?
Yeah.
So are you still holding to your Xbox thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you think they're gonna have something on
absolutely.
there too? Oh, okay.
Absolutely. It does not stop. We do not stop, baby. We going down.
I'm like, I think they just did it all. I don't know if they're gonna do it again, but all right.
Listen.
They got to demo it again, huh?
No, this is why. Because the reason being is listen to the mentality, right? Everything is no barriers, right? Yeah. Everywhere. If you look on the screen, Xbox was not eliminated, clearly. So now this, and they took some shots. Luke Smith and them took some shots when it came to like exclusive stuff with exotics. And they took a lot of Activision shots, in my opinion. I thought there was some subliminals out there. You know what I'm saying?
There's at least one very, very apparent one. So
yes. So to me, all this is so smart. Like the Stadia thing, they're out there and streaming. Get it in more devices. Stadia's not for everybody, but look, there's going to be people that utilize that don't have a console, that don't have a box, that maybe have you have a potato. You can run it at 10 to 80.
Well, like the funny thing is though, like if I wanted to go up and they're like, hey, there's something going on for the weekend, I'll log in for Destiny. If you do get Stadia and you just get the Ultracast or whatever, and I go up and I take my controller and the Ultracast up to my wife's parents' house. And I go up there and I'm like, hey, can I do that? Like, at least want to log into Zer or, do what I'm going to do. I don't know if I can record a video, but I could literally just take the cast, go play, and be good to go just because I have that
Right.
Stadia access, and then come back home, sit on my computer, and boot it up on Steam. Like, just the flexibility of the cross save pieces is huge. Like, my nephews that are always on PS4, they could literally walk to my brother's computer, sit down, and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Now I'll play with them." I could help them with content, like, because they could jump in and be like, "Hey," it's like they both need Whisper of the War, and be like, "All right, jump in my backpack. I'm going to take you each through one at a time on their account and stuff like that." Like, just the. I mean, shout out to Fallout Plays. He's one of those that I've wanted to play with forever, and he's always on PS4. Yeah. Now, the curiosity will be some that have consoles and computers and stuff like that is when you go controller, keyboard, and mouse. And that's one of the reasons I do think crossplay, minus probably the infrastructure for them, is going to take them time to get to the crossplay.
Yes.
I think that's one of those pieces that is probably in their mind is like, we know everybody was like, hey, you know, what is it? I'm trying to think of what recently. Dauntless is crossplay.
Right.
Call of Duty is that crossplay as well, or that's crossplay.
Yeah.
So I mean, those,
common.
but those are, they have a lot more money behind them.
Yeah.
They have the Epics, they have the Activisions, they have the money to go, hey, this is also a thing. Bungie's like, okay, we're at least going to use our API, play it anywhere. We're going to work on the rest because that's going to take some time. So this is a huge step, I think, to get it started.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it, E, because I literally think it's baby steps, and I literally think it's one of those things that also, let's be honest, from a balanced perspective, you know, we see what's going on like with other games. Like if you have, you know, PCs out here, 60 plus frames and stuff like that, so they're going to have an inherent advantage. Mouse and keyboard is going to have that inherent advantage. So this thing has to be done right. So I still think that's a little ways away. Yep. I think it's coming, but I think it's a ways away. But to me, cross progression is so much more important right now in the immediate. Like you said, you have to play with your fam. You know what I mean? Anybody that, you know, you couldn't. That's really tremendous. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing off the bat. As far as back to the, you know, the Stadia thing, I think, like I said, this is just them expanding, spreading their wings, getting this thing out on more devices, getting people who've never played Destiny a chance to get into that ecosystem, getting that base up, right? So that's one. Two, the reason what Microsoft, again, I see is that they're going to do their xCloud solution at E3, right? Yep. In my opinion, there's no way that Destiny's not part of that. You know what I mean? Again, the mentality that I'm seeing from Bungie is we are not restricting you. I can't see them saying, I can't see them saying, and unless, again, which I feel this is, you know, really far-fetched, you know, some contractual agreement that Stadia says only our streaming platform, that I got to see, but I doubt it. So that was that. But back to Shadowkeep.
Well, I was going to say, wait, before you get into that, actually,
go. You go. Yeah.
No. Well, no, it was like cross save is huge. Like, I think, like, we could harp on that for a long time for stories and things like that and just crossing back and forth. But the one thing I want to talk about is for cross save too. Before we get into actually the nitty gritty of the new stuff,
yeah, absolutely.
I want to make like kind of a separation here and say the influx of new people. So this is what I want. This is the reason why I want to go in this order, because I know you want to talk about Shadowkeep.
No, but wait. We got a lot to talk about.
But Destiny 2 New Light.
Woo!
Now this is. What you just got done saying, like, hey, this is a thing like we were talking about yesterday and all of the stuff going on. So I don't want to take the honor here. I want to let you explain what New Light is to everybody listening.
Yeah, basically the vibe I got from it was just that, you know, the problem always inherently been with Destiny is when you try to get someone on board, right? And it's like, hey, I want to play with you guys. That looks cool, you know, Forsaken or whatever. All right, cool. Well, now you got to get it. Then you got to get the base game. Then you got to play the campaign. Then you got to beat this. Then you got to beat, you know, Osiris. Then you got to beat Wilmot. By the time they're doing all that old content, they're so disinterested to try to, you know what I'm saying, to get to you.
Oh, yeah.
That it becomes a disconnect. So the way it seems New Light works is, boom, you jump in, you start literally D1-ish, right? At like you're born in college.
The first mission, it seems like,
yeah. Yeah, and you just come through, and then you know, you get going, and at that point there's no restriction. You can go wherever you want. Those planets are not locked out, so to speak. Now, I guess the vibe I'm getting is, I guess maybe end game content. Then it's like, okay, you're gonna have to commit to that planet, so to speak, and buy that expansion. That's the vibe I'm getting. But correct me if I'm wrong. What are you getting from?
Okay, so New Light is gonna have everything through Destiny 2 Year 1. It's going to have all the planets you're going to be able to go to, and you're actually going to be able to go to the moon, to the Dreaming City, and the Tangled Shore. Now, be it Exotic Quest, be it Last Wish Raid, be it certain things, that is going to take like the Forsaken expansion. That's going to be a price for everything included in Forsaken. And that annual pass, I think, for the annual pass, like the free stuff, like the free quests, those might still be out there, I'm wondering. But I think the annual pass quest, anything specifically to that would be part of the Forsaken package.
Right.
But you can still go there and see it, which is interesting.
Yes.
You can
and from my understanding, activities are not locked out, right?
No, like you got Crucible, you got Strikes, you got Gambit. That's all the stuff you can go into. Gambit Prime, I wonder how they're going to address that. I'm hoping it's just that's open too. That wasn't specifically asked, but you've got a lot of things that people can jump in, and that's just free. And the level they start at, she was basically saying, is probably, I know she said 750 at the level, light level you start at. So you're like, hey, I want to do 750. Hey, I did my first intro mission. I know how to shoot a gun. Okay, where are we going in Shadowkeep? I'm going to jump right in with you. They have the option to jump straight in with you if they bought Shadowkeep. So if they get New Light, they get in there, they've experimented for a little bit big, it's free. Try it out for a minute. Go jump around in some planets, see how it feels. Hey, this is cool. Like, okay, what's Shadowkeep? $35? Okay, yeah, I'll go play that with you. Cool. Okay, $35. I'm already $750. You've got some default set of whatever. And you literally can go $750, jump in with your friends there right at the start of Shadowkeep, not having to do the other stuff. Now you can go play the old campaigns, Warmind, Curse of Osiris, Red War. You can go experience all that stuff. You can go to the Leviathan. You can go to the, other two raid lairs. You can do all of that stuff for free. And they said it sounds like, basically what they said is they don't want you to open a directory and be like, holy crap, I have like 12 places to go. And I mean, Dado said like 17. He said it perfect. It's like, that's too much to be like, well, what the hell do I do? So they're kind of going you might pick a planet, or they might say, hey, go to the European Dead Zone. Hey, you've kind of like, you've been here a little bit. Now you can go to Titan. So they want you to like kind of see these places and like, and it's free. So, I mean, it's up to you on time. And you can see these places. They're just trying not to be like, here's everything. It's like, here's a little bit of a drip since it's free, so you can kind of dabble in a couple places, see what it's like. I don't know if there's a place where if you see a couple planets, you're like, hey, you want to start the Red War campaign? Bam, go. Like, I don't know where they're going to have those distinctions. It'll be kind of curious to see.
Absolutely.
But I just like the fact you start at 750. Everything scales in Destiny. We know that anyway. So you might feel a little over leveled, but if you're getting through the old stuff, it's not going to matter anyway. But you can just literally go, hey, do you like New Light? Cool. You want to jump into Shadowkeep with me? Cool. Jump into Shadowkeep, 750, go. And that's it. Like, that's so easy for, like, I have a brother-in-law. He's thinking about a computer eventually. He's like, dude, you are so far into Destiny 2. Dude, just buy Shadowkeep. We'll be good to go. That's all you have to say. That's so... And that's the other thing, like Shadowkeep in itself. I know I'm saying a lot, and then I'll let you go.
No. You educate me. Remember, I caught bits and pieces of driving. I'm like, so you're educating me on the little nuances that I missed. You know what I'm saying? But no, keep going.
Yeah. So then, like Shadowkeep, it's going to be a la carte things. The seasons will be a la carte, unless you just want to buy them all, which you can have the option to do with the collectors. But all those pieces are like a la carte. You're not going to be stuck like, hey, you wait for the review to come out on Season of the Drifter, which also on them puts importance for that seasonal content to be for more of what you want to be like, is this up to spec? Do I buy this season? So if you wait like 2 days and be like, hey, I'm out of town for the weekend, is this thing cool? Yeah, this is cool. You should probably get it for like $8 or $10 or whatever. Hey, this one's like, do you like Gambit? Not really. Well, just go play God of War this time of year and then come back for the fall and you can buy that one. Like the a la carte nature is cool about those pieces, but just the onboarding of New Light and then the a la carte nature and the starting point of like 750 Light is such a great decision to bring people in on every platform.
And cross save.
Just everywhere. Like if my PlayStation's upstairs and I just want to be like, I just want to go play upstairs on my TV for a little, I can just go do that. It's going to feel weird with a controller because it's not mouse and keyboard. But I can still just go up and be like, I haven't looked at Destiny 2 on my TV in a while. It still looks good. Like you just can do that. Like,
yeah.
That's really, really good. The cross save and then the free onboarding. I mean, these are things that were rumored and leaks and stuff like that. But man, when it's all official and finally set out there by them and the way they said everything.
Yeah, the messaging was perfect. I think that, again, this is so monumental for the franchise. It's just funny about this game. And I'm just going to go off on a little tangent in the sense that it's like, I've never seen a game like this, E. I mean, I've been gaming a long time. Pretty old. That's why I'm Iron Lord. I've been around the block a while. And I've never seen a game go through, let's be honest, Destiny has been at the forefront of a lot of pinnacle moments. We've learned about console exclusivity. You're learning about cross play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, cross save.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, we're taking some key words. I'm hearing MMO for the first time.
They finally said it. I love how Dana was like, I don't think you've ever said that. And he's like, maybe not.
Bro, like they're doing so many things. And it's interesting to see this journey because as a fan of the game, and you know we've suffered for being, you know, support of this game when we started this podcast, right? You know how it was.
Moment. We started this podcast in like Curse of Osiris, and people were like, you out of your mind?
Exactly.
Are you seriously crazy? Be like, yeah, it's so sure, yeah, we're doing it. Okay, yep, roll with that.
It's just a crazy journey, and it's cool to see the evolution. It's cool to see them unshackled. It's cool to. I'm just excited about possibly. Put it this way. Let me tell you how excited I am. This is the first time I'm not even really caring. I mean, we're gonna get to the content. We're gonna get to Shadowkeep.
Yeah.
I am so excited about the possibilities of all those things you just mentioned. Yep. You know what I'm saying? In terms of bringing communities together. Do you know what that's going to do to this online community?
Yeah.
Do you know what's going to do to this base? With everyone rocking together, at least interacting together and picking where they want to go and how they want to consume the content. Like, this is a game changer. This is the direction the industry is going. And I'm glad Destiny is one of the first, like, you know, one of the first console MMOs, right? To really kind of push this thing forward. This is exciting. Really exciting.
Yeah. So there's just a lot. There's so many many examples where this is a good thing, and you probably could never list them all. But I think New Light, basically the best way I can, and I'm going to click on this so I can kind of talk about it somewhat intelligently on their page. Basically they say play for free, start September 17th, same day as Shadowkeep. Dive right into the world of Destiny to experience responsive first-person shooter combat, to explore rich worlds with sweeping vistas, stunning visuals, to earn the arsenal of powerful weapons and armor, bring your personalized guarding into a large variety of activities and modes, from cooperative quests, competitive modes, challenging in-game activities, and more. The fact that somebody can go be like, hey, I've never experienced a raid. You can go do it for free. You can raid for free. Like, is that's crazy in and of itself. Like, you can do Leviathan, you can do Argos, you can do Spire, which probably take them to the first two, not the last one. It's a free raid is huge. Like, they've never done that, man. Do you like Destiny? Well, go try this thing for free.
For free, you can't. Free is undefeated, you know.
Free 99.
Last I heard.
Yeah, free 99.
Woo. Listen, that's how you get them in. Again, that's how. Listen, once you said that, I was so resistant to PC. I remember, boom, it's free. Oh, okay. Where I download? Where
do I get this? Yeah.
Listen, I was looking at my timeline. Shout out to Matt Piscatella, MPD. Good guy. Had him in the Iron Lord podcast many times. And he's not the biggest fan of Destiny. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I see Matt Piscatella put the tweet, and he has a screenshot.
I saw he was installing 70 gig. I saw him doing the same thing. I saw that tweet, and he's like, what am I doing right now? He's like out of his mind. He doesn't even know what he's doing. So
he does, again, because free is undefeated. There's no barrier. There's no, like, all the reasons that people that have gone away from Destiny, like, oh, they just come back and they just keep charging me. You know, bro, you ain't got to do it now. You know what? And the same thing with Attic. Attic would tell me, like, oh no, I don't like that Black Armory. Cool. You could sit out that season. Still rock out with us with everything else. Pick up Drift because he's a Gamma guy. You know, you can pick what you want. It's like going to like a buffet. Like, yo, you don't want the shrimp? All right, cool. You go over here. We got the meat over here. We got the steak over here.
Yeah.
Like, how you like, want it?
Yeah, you're like, hey, like Borderlands 3 did come out in like, say, March, and there's this new season. I don't know if I want to pick it up right now. Screw it, I'm just going to go play Borderlands. We'll come back in the next season. It's cool. Like, there's no... The freedom is there is nice. Now, I know somebody was saying it's like free to play doesn't pay the bills. What they're giving you for free has already been out for 2 years, long at this point. They're not losing anything. They're just trying to get more people into the game, into the newer content. Buying the season passes, spending money in Eververse, stuff like that they want to do. And, you know, cosmetics and expansions are how they're going to continue to support this game. So... It seems really cool.
And the other, I want to expound on that point, which is about how they're going to support it. Let's be honest. Now that we rocking Opulence, you're much farther. I literally barely turned it on like this morning, and I just saw the Eververse store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at, okay, direct purchase. This is the cosmetic of the week. I'm like, okay, it's almost like a little mall now, right? This is the way they're going for monetization. And I personally don't have a problem with it because, to be honest, like I didn't like where, the bright dust, some things are bright dust, some now you can almost directly purchase what you want. And I think that's going to be another revenue source. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing, for people that don't understand, like, well, how they're going to support themselves. The reason why games like Fortnite and all these free to play are thriving, first of all, if you have engagement, you lower the barrier of entry and you get more people and more of your friends playing, guess what? They're going to tend to spend more money living in your game buying cosmetics. They're going to tend to spend more money buying an expansion or whatever it is. That's how you sustain it. The key with this next generation, people don't understand, is going to be engagement. And for a game like Destiny, which is the ultimate friend game, the ultimate play with everybody, this is how you do it. I think they're really onto something. I love the direction that they go.
Yeah. I don't know if we can probably talk too much more about that. I mean, but yeah, it's like, it's everything through year one. Forsaken's going to be its own piece. I don't know at some point if that may be free after some time, if that may get discounted in sales. We know how Steam sales go. Just wait for one of those. All those pieces will be there. So, and honestly, if you're like worried about or wondering on things and you jump into Shadowkeep and be like, cool, but what if I don't have Forsaken? I don't know, maybe wait for it to go on sale, add that to your Steam library, and then, or whatever you got to do. So it'll be interesting to see how all this stuff works and kind of
how
pieces together. Work. Like, if it's like, okay, so if you go to Forsaken, is it going to say you need the Forsaken package to play this, dungeon or mission or whatever? Like, I'll be kind of curious where the lines are drawn around specifically like Forsaken, kind of wondering.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, so we've got cross save, huge. Got a new free entry in New Light, and it sounded. Now, my speculation. You tell me if you think I'm out of the box here. They said, "Hey, as seasons go, like, okay, so say Shadowkeep's going to be 800, and then or whatever it's going to be. I don't know. Say then they keep bumping it as the seasons go. Then say like season. What if it's season 9 is like 850? Say if you buy Shadowkeep in January, when you're in that new season." Or however you would start that level. When you jump in, do you think you jump in at like 800, like 50 below?
That's a good question.
So like, do you keep matching as the expansions keep coming out to stay fresh? Like, hey, I want to come in and join. Because it sounded like if you jump in and you buy Shadowkeep later, what level are you going to jump in on? They're like, well, that might count for one season of content. So I'm wondering how that power match is going to go. Because they keep doing the power surge. And I'm curious, when you jump in, is it just going to like, you're good to go, or so that'll be kind of
that's a good question. I guess my theory is probably maybe they keep power surge on some level, and then you will be slightly over leveled for the older content. I mean, if they stay consistent to how they run in the past. Again, this is new territory. Yeah, let's be very clear. Like, this is they're talking a whole bunch of stuff that they've never really done. So I'm gonna go with that for right now, because they seem to be power surge seems to be the route that they like right now. That I think they really like this new experiment of new people just jumping in. As soon as Opulence started, boom, it's like quest here, boom, you're 690 if you haven't played. So I think they may go that route. That's just my guess, though.
Yeah, it's like it seems like. What's up, Kaibatu? How you doing?
Kaibatu, what's up, brother?
So yeah, just like it. Watch it. I want to just walk around and shake like everyone in that studio's hand. Like Luke and Noseworthy and Eric Osborne, like the big three guys, like, and everybody from the top down, everybody in the background. And shout out on stream, somebody in Twitch pointed out, and I didn't notice it for the longest time. Whoever faces that like recording area with Dado, with the monitor, with their 2 dogs on it, like your dogs are cemented out there for life. It's because they're like giant. It's like half the monitor is one dog's face, half the monitor is the other dog's face. I was dying when somebody pointed because I couldn't stop looking at them. They're like big, fluffy hair dogs. It just looked hilarious. But shout out to everybody in that studio. And it's like, and sometimes you'd be like, hey, and you could hear, it's like, it seems like the way that studio is built, they're almost like on an upper tier for that like Twitch area. And like the entire floor down there is like cheering and hollering from back there. It's like, I just like, I don't know if any of them have ever listened to one episode of this, so I have no idea. But if they do, somebody pass the word along to everybody in that entire studio, because like, man, there's so many hardworking people in there, and I just want to thank them for for sticking with this long and being able to like get to this point right here where we're at with this cross save, with cross play, like working their butt off, having the ability to like sever ties and be your own studio. And that's
your own boss.
As one of the guys in the Vidoc said it perfectly. It's like it's exciting and terrifying at the same time. And it is. Yeah, he said it perfectly, because it's like they're on their own, so they have to make the right calls. But now they have the free. Their choices are theirs. So
I gotta say something though.
Go.
I gotta say something.
You go.
So can we put to rest finally, E, that as a studio they're capable of doing a DLC like Shadowkeep without having to not work free? Can I get an amen now? Can I get an amen now? Damn it, because this look like substantial content. They look like they've been working hard, and they were able to put aside their D3 dreams and give us this great content and keep us in the news cycle and keep everybody excited. Do you see the internet right now?
I do.
Do you see?
But I do. Okay, there's one caveat to that. Can I say one caveat to that? No.
Continue.
How has PvP been for the last year? They even mentioned that in the stream. They mentioned they're like, hey, but it's like, if we focus on PvP, if we focus on strikes, we can't deliver this new content. That was said. So again, there's a point where resources are, yes, believe me, I'm happy it's coming. Not arguing that. Never gonna argue that. Like, that's one of those, I will usually make like little stupid bets like that if I lose it, I'm gonna be happy anyway, so I don't have much to lose. Like, oh no, I have to buy you a drink, I get content in September. God forbid. Like, I was like, I don't care. But in all seriousness, that's a point to where they still want to keep that as a like right before Shadowkeep comes out, there's probably going to be some overtime, but like generally they want to keep that as a well-balanced work-life balance, have some like alone time, and they want to keep that as a good as a studio that other studios look up to. It's a studio that you want to work at, and that's the balance of like, hey, we're not going to pump out Fortnite seasons of content all the time and kill our developers. It's like, and they're not going to do that, and that's the point to where the people that have been waiting for the PvP stuff they're like, thank you for being patient. Now we're trying to figure out that balance. So, and you
love that transparency. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So. All I'm saying is, as a games as a service, and especially now with the free to play, with this model, you can't go away. That's all I was trying to say. You cannot go away. You go away, you're forgotten. And the thing is, they've been fortunate.
No one would forget Destiny.
You will not forget Destiny.
Nobody. Destiny has been too big of a thing for too long. Even if what I had said had happened, you're not gonna forget about Destiny.
We represent the hardcore.
I understand that.
We do not count. Now here's the thing. Look at the casuals. Look at the Matt Piscatella. Look at the people who do not care about Destiny, and look at your Twitter feed and see what they're doing. That's because they love it, man. And when you give them great content and you give them these announcements, you keep them. Now people are like, oh my God, the future looks so bright. Like, that's what you want, man. It's free to play. It's games as a service. This is the new wave, and Destiny's the pioneer. It's just good to see. It's good to see. So yeah, I'm gonna say my damn I told you so, because goddamn it, I told you so.
I was like, there's two different people saying in chat. Like, Neo saying people are starting to forget, and Christian Klingberg, sorry, you won't bring back casuals with expansions, and that's that. I guess that's my.
Hold on, let me get Christian. Right now.
Before you say anything, let me say mine.
Okay, because I'm ready.
What is going to bring back people? You see, Baldur's Gate gets announced with like a Baldur's Gate 3. You see like a Mass Effect 4. Big iterations and numbers are still the thing that are going to be something in somebody's mind to be like, this is a point where I can come back and get fresh. Now you can go in and explain all this to them of how this new stuff is going to work. And all those other pieces, but iterations and numbers are still going to be one of those things that have one of the biggest influxes, no matter how good all of this was. And it is freaking
phenomenal.
I was like, I'm curbing my language right now because I was going to say something else.
I saved you.
I was going to stop, but it's amazing. But but still, and this is probably the best way they could probably bring people in, but people are still like, hey, is that still Destiny 2? No, if it was Destiny 3, it still opens a different door in people's minds. Now, you and I can sit there and like explain it to them. They can see videos. They'll see reviews coming out. Hey, this is cool. You can get it for free. But if somebody was just like, Destiny 3 comes out with PlayStation 5, that's still gonna pique an interest in more people's minds. Is all I'm getting at. Now, as a live service, like, you don't want it to die, and that's why we're like, annual pass. What is it going to be? Small expansion. Now, I don't think Shadowkeep is going to be as
this ain't small, bro.
This isn't Forsaken. Up to me. This is not Forsaken.
This is looking Warmindish at least. This is not small. This is not.
I'm just saying it's not Forsaken.
But it's big. This is Rise of Iron.
Yeah, this is Rise of Iron.
Come on, give me that. And this, you were like, it's not possible because they have to, and the mothers and the fathers, and they're not going to be able to make D3, and we got to give them time, and we got to.
If they don't do, that was Dado's most important question in the end. He's like, what about D3? Is there a D3? So if you always do a live service, that's a different animal. If they wanted to go for a D3, it would have been a different thing. And that's kind of the wondering of like how long is D2 going to be? Is it going to be D2? Are they just going to start slapping names on Destiny 2 for September stuff? But then here's the question: is like, how much content do you get with a D3? That's not an easy thing for them to develop, I know, but also, and this is a way for them to keep adding here and adding here. When you want your influx of like 8 strikes and 8 new PvP maps and 4 new planets, that gigantic size of content, that doesn't come until there's an iteration the way they explained it.
And you could tell that's what Luke is holding on to, right?
Yeah, and that's what he's saying in the background of like, maybe later. Like, and that's it's like, that's in this is their current plan to support what they've got. They have another year of content planned out.
I need to say something to Christian. I need to say something. All right, here's the thing. Now he's saying like, the casuals won't come back, and with expansions. Here's the thing, the big thing that you guys are missing. Again, if you would have, I'm gonna be brutally honest, Pete. If they would not have had Shadowkeep, right? Let's say Shadowkeep was not announced. There's no Eris trailers, none of that.
Yep.
And they would have said, still crossplay. All these different forms. I mean, I keep saying crossplay, cross save, all these different formats. You know what I'm saying? Streaming this, that is tremendous. That is tremendous. That is a barrier. So that's what I'm trying to say, Christian. And I'm not trying to come at you because I've seen this comment before. It's just that, people have to understand, like, once you remove barrier of entry, look at a game like Fortnite, right? Once you remove barrier of entry, and then you throw, hey, by the way, free 99, let's go. That changes the whole scope of your game now. Now it's something else. So now there's no excuse for anyone to say, well, I don't know because this. No, it's free. Here you go. Check it out. Check it out. You don't like it? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? But now you check it out. And that's, again, you bring more people in. That I cannot understate how, like, I am still on cloud 9 off of that. And this stuff I want to talk about Shadowkeep right now, that what I saw, and I'm glad I waited to start this. Whew, there was 2 parts of Shadowkeep that I'm like, and there's one part that I know you had to be doing like a backflip, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying? This one, I was like, oh, they coming for Ethan. Woo! So I had to dust off my little faded Auric shirt, little Taken King. We gotta keep it high, but yeah, man, we gotta get into it. We gotta get it.
All right, so either way, we know what's going to happen for now. Speculation for the future will happen as we, of course, keep playing the game. But yeah. Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. This is a thing.
Whew.
So, first we got the trailer. Eris is back. Yeah. In the one place she doesn't want to be, by the way. Where of all places does she not want to go? Back where she almost died.
Yeah.
And she is literally back there. She talks about facing her nightmares. And in this little brief trailer, and there's a couple other snippets that we see Hive with like an electric field around the ogres.
What's going on?
Okay, who is Prison of Elders, Scorch Cannon boss,
yeah, the homie. Tannix.
Now it's Tannix. No, that's Tannix. That's from the strike.
That's from the strike.
So it's I can't remember who I'm talking. Somebody in chat help us right now.
One of the Prison of Elders bosses. One of the
Prison of Elders, like Skolas.
Yeah,
it looked like he was in there.
Yeah, bro.
It looked like he was in there. It looks like he was standing next to 2 other guys as it rotated over. They looked even weirder, and I haven't seen before. You had ogres walking in. You had like crazy big knight captains. Thank you, chat. They're getting there.
Oh, we saw Crota, yo. We saw
Crota. It says Crota Phantasm, but he's walking around in like a, I don't know. They mentioned the Dark Below, like going back to, oh, it's your least favorite raid. Are you so happy to go back there now?
I will deal with this.
Are you really excited about Shadowkeep Crota raid? No!
Listen, out of the love and the I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie. I bend the knee to you on that one. I definitely am excited to see. I didn't think I would miss the moment. To be honest, one quick thing. To be honest, when I remember when the leak came out, right, and we saw the graphic, and you just saw the planet and you see moon. So part of me is like, oh, we going back to the moon again? Like, I ain't gonna lie. That was my first reaction, raw reaction, right? Seeing this, right? Then she got Eris. It brought some feels back. I'm like, okay, she's crazy. She's back. We got to see what's going on. Then I got the vibes I got was, her fallen raid team. It seemed like the necklaces or whatever, some memorabilia of her fallen team. I want to see what's going on there. They expanded on how more of a, expanded it is than what we remember it as. And then I think the key is, and I got to shout out my boy Addict on this. One thing he always said that he would, like a dream. That's why when he's texting me, I'm in the barbershop. He's like, oh my God. Oh my, he never says that. Like he's the most negative Nancy. You could show him anything. Oh, I don't know. He's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? Oh my God. Did you watch it? And I'm like, I'm about to watch it now. He's like, they got all the bosses. The Atheon. And then I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, oh my God. He's wanted that. Like, so it almost feels like people could say reuse an asset, whatever they want. In my opinion, as a Destiny fan, these are iconic encounters that we have from D1, and that these guys are not finished for whatever reason. Whatever's going on in the moon, they are not done. So I'm dying to know the lore behind it, what's happening. And then the question I have for you is, do you think, we got to talk a little lore now, do you think your face, do you think you're going to stop the damn face? I can't go finish the sentence. You're a fool. Do you think that the raid team is gonna do we have to fight her original? Like they may have been like
to fight who?
Her original raid team that got like tormented, killed, and whatever.
Oh, the other 5 Guardians.
Yeah, what you thinking?
I don't think that
maybe too much. Do you think they're finished?
I don't think that qualifies in Bungie's mind as a boss.
Okay.
Now, what I would like to see, and that's what some people have been speculating on, if all bosses weren't giant things, if there were smaller targets or more different things and stuff like that, like I would like to see something like that, or maybe one of the encounters before, like, hey, if there was this crazy thing controlling, quote, nightmares, which is what most of this stuff seems to be, and this is like, she's like, I see it in my nightmares. All of this stuff is what she's potentially talking about down in, the Dark Below. Basically, all of this... It seems like all of these things are brought back in some way. Now, do you have to cross planes to go face your nightmares? Are we fighting, like they said, phantasm? Like, I mean, a phantasm, I could probably Google the damn definition to see something interesting here. Hold on. Phantasm. Yeah, man. Because that was the...
Aquarius simulations, the chat saying some stuff. Lost on the Moon, predates Eris and her team. Yeah, this is interesting, man. Golden Age, Wally says it's...
So this is why the part, and this is why I've got to go do it, like literally the breakdown I'll do later too. I might do that on Twitch as well. A phantasm, because it said Crota Phantasm. Yeah. A figment of the imagination, an illusion or apparition, an illusory likeness of something. So it's something to where when she's talking about nightmares, it is truly fighting something, but there's something also doing, like, what are these like ogres that have this like this like field that is around them? If you guys are listening to this on audio, sorry, the video's got some stuff going on, so check out the YouTube channels. But it definitely, they're also saying Blackwing, we'll get to that in a minute, put a pin in that.
Yes, Blackwing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, pin in that.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
And that's a point to where this is Eris' story, and that's what they said in the as they were talking and doing the interviews. They're like, hey, this is the the Drifter story. This is Season of Opulence. This is doing stuff with Callus. This is going to be Eris' story. What she faced, what she went through. I don't think it's going to go back. I think we're going to go to what has happened at the moon, and something's overtaking it even more now. But yeah, it's definitely going to be. They said, okay, size wise, as this is the most unorganized podcast, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, we're all over the place. So much news, man. At one
I know
point.
it's just trying to remember everything just off one viewing. Twice as big as the moon was before.
Yes, I did hear that. Yes,
so that's a new destination. So that will be substantial because there was Hellmouth. I don't remember the name of the other two places, but there were 3. So if you have 6 zones, it's bigger than Tangled Shore.
Yes.
But Tangled Shore and Dreaming City together, I still think will be bigger.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's a decent size if you have like
that's
5.
decent.
Like if you have 3 originals, maybe 2 or 3 new zones, something like that. But twice as big, that should be really cool. But yeah, what we're facing, I don't know what is in this view. If this is just like, because they just have these little things marching up in little like rotating camera pictures. There's not a lot of point of references,
right,
to like the activities. The only thing we really see is like kind of the red keep structure and Crota. Like that's the one thing we all see. And Crota's like looking big and ginormous and everything else, and we're like, what the hell?
Exactly. And yeah, it's that the play seems to be everything your guardian's worst fears, all their nightmares, kind of thing. That's the play that it seems. And when I heard them, I saw Gaul. I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like they mentioned Oryx.
I saw Omnigul. Like,
yeah, man. This is really cool concept. And yeah, like I said, I shout out to Attic. I mean, he's always told me something. He's like, it would be cool if they had something where you face these iconic bosses. He's a boss guy, and yeah, he's gonna get his dream with this one, man. This looks like we're really doing it, man.
Yeah, so just to give a reading on the Bungie page for Shadowkeep itself, it says a new chapter. As the heroes of the last safe city turned their attention to the frontiers beyond the protection of the Vanguard, new nightmares have emerged. Nightmares capitalized, by the way, have emerged from the shadows of our long-forgotten moon. Called forth by the haunting visions from her tormented past, Eris Morn has returned and unleashed something that once slumbered beneath the lunar surface, a long-dormant power even she cannot control. And they actually described that as she let something loose. She did something. She broke some... She I don't know, she tripped over the lock. I don't like... I mean, however you want to read or phrase that, it says, return to the moon, journey deep into a mysterious enemy citadel, help Eris slay these nightmares before they reach out beyond the moon and to cast humanity back into an age of darkness. And that's the one piece I wanted to hold on to is the darkness is closer than we think. And that was stated at some point in there. Now, this is talking about the nightmares in darkness, so I don't think this is going to be the triangle ships or the Veil or anything like that. Right. And that's why I still think there is a D3 somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're still sticking to that formula of once we beat Gaul and we saw the cinematic of the Traveler's Light going to each planet. That's the sequence. They've been true to that for the most part.
But yeah, the darkness below, dark below. Like, I wonder if they're truly just going to call the raid like the darkness below, or so like go back to like an old raid name or something like that. But yeah, that Vidoc I'm gonna have to break down specifically. We can't really watch it on stream, but there's. So what are your takeaways for like do you think there's gonna be a new activity? Do you think there's like, is this another escalation protocol? Is this gonna be your next wave based activity?
It's a possibility. I mean, generally with new expansion, new content, they've always debuted a new activity. So I definitely think we're getting something, and maybe that is along the lines, that whole boss thing. That's a possibility. Yeah. It would be cool. They could say that for a raid, but I doubt it. They probably might want to introduce some new power there. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to go that route. I feel, as far as new activity. They mentioned that there were some key points. They also mentioned, they said about the moon. Also, there's like central characters, obviously, with Eris and this whole thing.
Yeah,
but
there's also one coming back.
Yeah,
and I don't know who that. I'm trying. Like, who would that be?
Who would that be? And
because they're not talking about Mara yet.
They said because Dado pressed him. He pressed him about Mara and Eris's relationship. He pressed them about Aldrin. Very impressed with that press. Yep. I still think we getting Aldrin. I think they just holding on. I think they just want to say that right now. I think that's going
to tie into Mara later, though. I think it has to. I think those two are too connected.
Yeah, but the vibe I'm getting, there's still some stories during this expansion that they are going to give us nuggets and pieces as far as expansions of those storylines. Because yeah, that'll ask some really, really good questions.
Yeah, so I mean, it seems very much focused on Eris on the moon and that story piece. We've got a new planet twice the size of the moon was before, which is nice. So they've definitely revamped, rebuilt. They're probably using some areas that were there, but they're going to be restructures. As they said, it's like your driving paths will be different as the cracks in the surface sort of change things up. So things seem reformulated. I saw a few little shots that look like old areas though as well. So there do seem to be some places you'll recognize if you play. But people who jumped on, like, D2 was free. Hey, I've never played D1 before, but D2's free. Cool, I'll play that. What's D1? Like, some people have never seen the moon.
Yeah,
so that was why when he pressed them, he's like, oh, this is reusing new content. And this is their true, really first time to... How would they bring an old planet back? How would you bring back Venus? How would you bring back other places? And this was their first foray into that. So...
Absolutely.
Giving it a reason for a story. A lot of people seem to mention the moon. Even somebody who said before, like, the moon was their favorite planet, mentioned the other day, and we're going back there. So a lot of people enjoy, like, even just the contrast of that. It's like you got the grays, and you go underneath, and you have the hive infrastructure. You have Fogoth, the giant ogre with all the chains all over him. Like, all of those pieces are out there. Seem really, really cool. Now, one other... I was like, there are multiple things. So give me one piece about that whole video you watched about Shadowkeep that excites you about now the expansion. We'll bounce back and forth. Give me one thing, and then we'll talk about it.
I don't want to steal your thunder because there's one that I just like.
You can say it, and I'll hold my. You know my first.
I know it's yours.
There's two. There's actually two, but one definitely tops everything for me. So,
for one that I saw when I saw Armor. And I saw basically where they were talking about mods and configuring, unlocking perks and taking those and putting it on the... So that screams transmog to me, baby.
Basically, that almost sounds like not transmog, but it sounds like transmog is taking, like, I'm wearing a set of armor, but I'm just going to, like... put in these little artistic cosmetic slots. This is what I want to look like. This actually looks like I got a piece of armor. I can put whatever perks I want it, which almost seems more customization. But if you've unlocked and seen those perks before, like, hey, I finally got a piece of armor with enhanced bomber.
Yes.
I can go put that on whatever I want.
Whatever I want. And see, that's the thing, because Destiny it's the fashion game, man. And you want to look fly. And I hate right now that I'm playing Opulent. And I've got to wear crap. Because I just need my light level.
I look homeless right now, man. I am straight up homeless warlock right now with my robe of tattered cloth and browns, and I look awful. I think it was Shackle Shotgun. Shout out to her, by the way. She's got a lot to do. Oh my god. I think it was Fallout was like, please make sure you eat, take breaths, because like the amount of stuff that she's got to cover. And he's like, please, if you get cramps in your hands, stretch, sleep a little bit, stuff like that. I was laughing. Because she does a really, really amazing job, actually. If you guys haven't followed her before, please do. It's Shackle Shotgun. If you just look up something like that, you'll find her. She does a recap of, like, Reddit, of Twitter, of everything, really condensed, just a quick place to read.
Yes, I've seen it.
So she does a great thing. Today, her mind probably exploded. So there's way too much to type. So she's definitely going to be working hard. Like... she tweeted something, I'd be like, I look terrible. I'm like, I look homeless. I tweeted back and I was like, dude, I look homeless right now. So, and that's the point to where if I'm getting this other stuff, but I'm like, I'm unlocking new perks and mods and other things like that. Like, yeah, she's got her work to do, but oh my God, like I would love to not look homeless right now.
Dude, that is huge, man. It really is. Again, if you ever wonder why Cognito has no enhancement, this is why, because I am stubborn. I am not putting on the bummy gear. And I know I should. I know I'm supposed to. I know I'm supposed to be efficient like how you're being efficient, right?
I have 400 cores.
Oh my, come on,
and
man.
50 finest matter weave, by the way.
Oh my God, saving them clearly for a rainy day. But
it's not gonna matter.
I know. At some point, you're right. But it's just one of those things that really is needed. So that definitely, and I'm just going to go back to the core element. When I'm hearing we are going back to RPG level of mechanics.
Oh, you're still
We
but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
No,
we're going
good.
to MMO. We're taking it back to like we still like he key points that Luke Smith said, like we don't like the way the character set up what the abilities is or what have you, and we want to give more choice, more options, because that was the knock on D2, right? When D2 dropped, people were like, yo, why are you forcing me to be in these little pockets with no customization with all within the subclass, right? And that is what I miss from D1. When you had D1 and you had all these ability trees and you picked and you choose, right? Which one and how you want to configure. Okay, I want to use that. I don't want to use this. Cool. And it just gave you so much control over you, and it felt like yours. And that, to me,
yeah, those are still here in my stream from when I was watching it live before. My literally arms went up over my head as soon as they were saying like we want to. It's like MMO, and they're like we've always been afraid to say that. He's like we want to get more into the RPG. We want depth in character, and my hand shot up, and I was just like, thank you, thank you. That's exactly what I've been asking for a long time now, actually.
Preach.
And that's why they want the depth in your character, and to me that's one of those pieces that is so lacking in this game. You look at the armor, and what do you get? You get scavenger and reserve perks. Like, who gives a I'll bleep myself there, but who gives a damn? Like, some of that stuff after a while, it's like that's why my vault is an issue, because the only thing I actually can customize is what I'm going to work with, what weapons I have. But I was like, what if there are more customizations in the armor? What if my build is a little better? What if my super can charge a little faster? But what if I could get rid of a melee and hold 2 different types of grenades? Like, what if any of that, and I'm not saying any of that's happening, but like have more choice and depth in your character. And they said these monster killing machines are going to have customization to them now. And that was, I was the point where I probably needed new pants, actually.
Yeah, bro, that hit hard. I didn't. You just feel the shackles coming up. You know what I'm saying? You just feel like, yo, we're doing what you guys want. And again, the theme seems to be no restrictions, no barriers. There's this new Bungie now. And it's exciting, man. Like I said, like, to be honest, again, I'm going to say it again. It's going to sound foul because the Era's content looked dope. Everything looked dope. I am so hype about the features and what's happening to the core gameplay, more than I am about the story. Normally it's always the opposite. Like, oh man, did you see? Oh my God, there's the Fort Dreaming City, and this happened, and that's cool.
Oh,
right.
We'll get to that, Blackwing. Oh my God, I forgot about
Blackwing. I forgot about that.
I about fell out of my chair.
I forgot about that.
We got to say that now, honestly, because everybody on audio goes like, "What are you talking? Finishing like literally moves. Mortal Kombat finishing." I'm like, literally. So the hunter does like a kind of a 360 spin stab. The Titan literally just does a giant haymaker, and I don't know what the Warlock looks like, just a force punch. But I'm like, an ogre, by the way, noticeably larger than you, is flipping away backwards off the screen. I laughed so hard at that. Oh my God. That was amazing. What? I don't even know. Like, you can't do that to a boss, obviously.
Clearly, yeah.
But like, what if you had like an ogre coming at you and there's a bunch of stuff behind him, and you finish him and he rolls over the guys behind him? like Hulk punching a truck and he hits the 16 things behind him. Like, the Titan Superman punch. Yeah, seriously. That made me laugh so hard. And that is almost like one of the little things of like, what is the unexpected things? What would people like in a D3? D3 would have your subclasses and stuff like that. What's something unexpected you would never think about coming into Destiny? Bows. That was one I never thought. That's just a weapon type, though. This is a finishing, like, a ultimate melee. Like, what is that? I don't understand. I don't even know how to use it right now.
It was sick, bro. And again, that was the mechanics seemed, the vibe I got from the mechanics just seemed like you could have lied to me and said D3. Like, this is D3 kind of stuff that I didn't think we were going to get now, right? Like, this is stuff that I'm like, okay, that's definitely down the pipe. And you can see the vibe is they are evolving this game to what they truly meant it to be. And yeah, to have it this early, like, yo, again, I'm more excited about all these core gameplay mechanic changes than I am anything else. Like, I'm super pumped for all this stuff.
Yeah, there's a a weapon chart or something, I'm gonna have to literally freeze frame and pick apart where he's saying as you work through the tiers of something to like unlock, it's like when you get to this level of tiers, there's like 5 columns of these things, and he said the 5th one, these are almost going to be like exotic tiers, and that's going to be really exciting. I'm like, I don't know if it's like scopes and perks and stuff that you can unlock. If there's, I really have to go back and watch that part, because that right there has me so intrigued as to picking perks or unlocking these things, or how do you build your armor. And there was like a scale of like, and it said like 7 of, I don't even know. I have to go back and freeze frame that, so I know I sound stupid right now. So if you're listening to this, I'm going to try and post the audio up as soon as possible so I don't sound quite so stupid. Oh my God. We're getting there in a second, War Blackjack. Like, that was the thing, actually, I think I might be talking about. They're bringing back artifacts.
I didn't see. I missed that.
That was an entire thing. I can't scroll through it right now. They are, it's like, that might have been the thing that was like really customizable, working for perks and leveling the thing up. You let me spend time with the gear that I want. Let me level up this set. Let me, if I spend and get 30,000 kills with my, go figure that there's actually a benefit to using a weapon for a while. Let me have a customized skill tree again. Like, those are the things I want back in this game. And if they, like, they're saying, like, you might not have subclasses now, but if you can pick, like, you know, hammers and 6-shot golden gun or 3-shot golden gun, and then 6, like, a bunch of little perk trees that you pick your super, you pick your perks, like, almost go back to a D1 stop, and dude, I will be happy.
Yeah, like I'm a little nervous though with Artifact. I gotta be honest. Now that you're saying, I'm like, because you know I remember the days of Discovery, and you know, I just want to see how far they go, and that they may not be too game breaking, but it's exciting. I'm not gonna say like I'm anti Artifact. I just want to see how far they go.
What they do with it, yeah. I mean, it's another slot for sure, but if it has mechanics to it, it'll be interesting. But yeah, like. There are some freeze frames I need to go back through, because I recorded the whole thing. It's like I want to scroll back through slowly. Vagabondo, always good to have you in here. Have a good one,
Salute, brother. Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, the heavy, but yeah, she's working the test environment that they get to work in this Vidoc. I love how they showed that little bit, and they were talking about. She's like, I'm working on a heavy bow with kind of a knockback feature. Well, let's see how much this is, and you just see all the enemies like kind of explode around, like a little grenade went off, and they went flying around, and I was like, oh my God, I would have too much fun in that. Like, man, can you imagine just being like, okay, you build me the model. I just need a bow that functions. Okay, so when I fire this bow, it's got this speed. When it hits the ground, it pushes everything away. Or say there's a bow that shoots the ground and then a wave goes for it. Like, the amount of stuff that I'm sure they can toy around and try with is they have to have some crazy stuff. And then somebody's got to be like, all right, so I made this thing, and you give it to Sandbox and be like, hey, can you balance this?
Yeah, all right. Did you see that? Did you see that hand cannon with the scope?
Oh, like a single shot sniper hand cannon with the scope on it. Oh man, like that looked cool. So so here's the one thing.
Oh, let's go.
No, like those things sound really cool. But I hopefully sometime, and I know they've been focused on the annual pass and other seasons.
What's up? What you got?
The old exotics that suck. If we're still in Destiny 2, they need love. Like, there's a lot out there. I mean, you got your Astrocyte verse that helps with blinking. And I'm going, like, they brought that in. Like, how do you... there's only so many things I guess you can do to a point. But I'm like, really?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Reddit Crucible Playbook. I did my research on it. And at first, when I read the new perks, I was underwhelmed. I was like, really? I brought it back to do that? But I will, which is basically, for those who don't know, Blink is extended, but they added a second part to it. So basically, it's baby Ophidian aspects right post Blink. So when you post Blink, your handling and all that stuff reaction is super fast. So you get kind of the drop kind of thing. So it's really a PvP kind of exclusive, kind of exotic. That's the vibe I'm getting from it. And I've been hearing positive things. You know what I mean? Shout out to these guys. But yeah, trust me, I'm with you though. Like overall, I'm I want substantial improvement to underused exotics, because let's be honest, a lot of these exotics look really cool. Like, shout out to the design team, right? Like,
yeah, like Antatus Ward's like the slide thing. It's like, it's cool in theory, but it's literally like a montage thing. Like, I mean, what if there was like, I mean, I don't know if I had to sit there and break down and be like, I swear I could do a video series and be like, hey, what can I do with this thing? And like actually think about each one or something like that and how you can make some of those better. And I'm not a designer to know what couldn't work or what's balanced and what isn't. But there's the point where it's like, we went back to this before when we started this podcast and they were like, hey, they want exotics to be exotic. And some of them are really not, right? They don't feel worthwhile. There's, I mean, Jade Rabbit, which it's a decent scout rifle if that's what you're good at, but scouts need some love. There's sidearms have a whole huge problem going on with them being an even subplate. So those are some of the things too that I want to make sure don't keep being forgotten. It's like, I know we keep getting new stuff, but it's like, I want to bring back and be like, I do still want like, I want choice. There's still, I know there's going to be a meta. I understand that is always going to happen. But I would like sometimes to be like, hey, Skull of Dire Ahamkara, I understand you're awesome. Is there something else that I could use that might lead to a different playstyle? Okay. It needs to be playstyle differences. I understand there's going to be meta. But if, like, I go into a Crucible match and so I was like, what is that? What? How does he, like, and it's just a completely different playstyle than something else. That would be nice. Like, I know there's always going to be like, hey, if you're in comp, like, 4,500 rank, you're probably going to be using a very small subset of items because they are going to be the best. Like efficiency, top points, all those things are going to be there. But in the point of quick play and PvE and strikes and things like that, if there's a point where it's like, hey, there's a void modifier on. Okay, what if I don't use Skull of Dire Ahamkara? Is there anything that pulls me away from that? There should be. Just a completely mixable playstyle.
Let me ask you a question, being that you're going on that. So then what was your reaction when Dado pressed them on meta and sandbox cadence? And the vibe was, we're still sticking with once a season. What was your face then?
It was probably what you would expect. It was just kind of like...
That was the best discussion. Yeah, I like that discussion. We need somebody. Where's Bog about? I need to freeze frame that one.
Yeah. They explain they are very data driven. We know they are. They're hugely data driven on many of their decisions they make. Then they get into the testing. Then they roll it out. Now they're going to have 4 platforms. So they're going to have all those pieces that have to function. And as he said, it's like, hey, you want to tweak a scout rifle? Well, how does it function in Gambit, in Crucible, in PvE, in Strikes versus the Raid? Like, if they tweak a scout rifle and it's like, hey, we're going to have scout rifles at 30% buff. Well, now everybody just shoots a scout rifle into Riven's mouth. Like, there are points where they have to be like, okay, or we take it into PvP and I'm like two-shotting people in the head halfway across the map. In Gambit, I'm invading with scout rifles. Now scout rifles the new meta. Now, that would be nice if stuff like that would happen. And there would be, they have to find that balance of data-driven decisions. But as they are free now, occasionally it would be really nice to see things like Trace Rifle Crucible fun. Like Prometheus Lens, like break stuff occasionally just to see, be like, hey, and now they did say for PvP Crucible Labs will be coming back.
Their defense, and they did mention, I will, because you know how I feel. I feel like the redhead stepchild. I'm a PvP lover here. I mean, not that you're not, but you know, I live more in PvP. Like literally, when on reset day, when I watch your videos and then I go straight to PvP. Like that's literally, PvP is the first thing I do. I knock those 5 matches out. I'm in there. I'm messing around. Oh, shout out to Service Revolver right now. Ooh, I got me a gun. Literally, when I logged in, got to tell you about that later. But it's crazy. Range masterwork, kill clip, range finder. I was doing things in Rumble. It was crazy. But anyway,
that sounds good.
So like when I heard them finally say, PvP guys, we know. You guys have been neglected. You guys have been thrown to the curb. I needed to hear it. Now I'll shout out, Dado. Shout out to Dado because he was bringing it. He's like, so what's up with trials though? What's up with trials? He's like, well, we're not ready. You know, they did the marketing backtrack.
They said like a few seasons. We knew this was going to be season 8, season 9 that we're going to see. Like it's going to be December, January, lower content, like smaller annual pass stuff. There's going to be a trial. Now, see, that's a question. So this season we got Black Armory, Gambit, Season of Opulence, PvE, hybrid, PvE. Now, not everyone in this game loves PvP, but currently this annual pass PvP really got neglected.
Yes.
absolutely will agree with that. Now, there's a point in the annual pass where some people are like, hey, buy this season and you get trials. And some people are like, I'm not a PvP person. I'm not going to do that. Do you think, like, if they go, season in March is going to be, this is going to be the trials of the 9 Osiris, whatever they call it now. Like, when they bring it back, do you think that would be its own season and everything in that season is about PvP? Do you think they could actually justify an expansion to actually be that focused? Because they basically did it with Gambit.
Yeah.
So do you think, how do you think they're, because honestly, that would be like their mid-season, because Gambit didn't have a raid. It was just about, there's not, similar timing. Similar timing, we're talking about, because when the hell was Drifter?
March, maybe? Yeah.
March, April, May. So then June starts. Yeah. So March, if you don't have that raid somewhere in the middle, you have it at the beginning, you have the break. In that middle time somewhere, either December or March.
Yeah.
Like a trial season. Like, how do you think their reaction would go down?
I think it's one of those things they can get away with it because at the end of the day, they're going to follow cadence. We're annual pass, right? We're just that this is really a substantial first part. So we're going to say this is almost, they're top heavy. They're going to do, what you call like a Rise of Iron, so to speak. So, yeah, I see, because in your defense, right? We can't keep getting raids every single annual pass. It's just not sustainable. Can't build them
fast enough, yeah.
That I agree with that. It's not sustainable. I completely agree. So right after, you're going to have something meaty, but at the same time, that doesn't include a raid, and you have these assets. You know what I mean? So I could totally see them doing that, and that be the season. That would be about now 3 or 4 seasons cadence, according to when we last spoke to them, and they told us no trials for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's about 3, 4 seasons now. Come on now.
Yep.
So I think that's it. I think I doubt it. It'd probably be about the 9 most likely. I mean, it'd be my dream for my boy to come back, you know what I'm saying, and get his redemption arc going on with Osiris, but I think it's too early. I think, honestly, I don't see Osiris until deep. I'm going to be honest. As much as I want him, I don't think they bring him back. There's probably other things they want to do. So, but they can still bring trials back in some form, and make it kind of like the PvP, so to speak, thing. Because the key thing they said in the Vidoc was that he didn't say no to Dano about trials. He just said, we have to clean up the house and the foundation of PvP first before we bring that stuff in. So the vibe I'm getting with this season is that they're going to at least attempt to do things. They mentioned something like playlists and more options.
Yeah,
and stuff of that
they
nature.
stated to where, I mean, and Luke Smith was like, hey, I'm going to use a terrible metaphor, but it's actually a really good one. At least I thought it was, because you take a house. The important pieces of a house. If you ever go buy a house, by the way, this is one thing that got told to me. It's one of the most important things you can ever listen to. If you buy a house, you can change wallpaper, you can change carpet, you can change like hardwood floors, you can change pictures. That stuff doesn't matter at all. You need 3 things: a good foundation, a frame, and a roof. Those are your 3, and that's what they're talking about for PvP, right? They need they need the frame, they need the stuff behind the walls, not like, hey, this game mode has 20-second timers or heavy ammo comes up in 30 seconds. No, they're looking at the playlist, whether it's matchmaking, whether it's how the playlists function, whether it's quick play, whether it's like specific choices that you get. They're working on the base level stuff for PvP to feel better.
Yes.
Now, if they're on, here's the question is,
what's up? Here we go.
Well, no, I was just going to ask, as we're talking about PvP, I'm thinking about the foundation of PvP is how you actually pair up with people.
Right.
Dedicated servers. When do you think that would be on the table?
I got bad news for you. I don't think now.
I don't think it would be either. I don't think
as much as I want it. It's just too much going on right now, infrastructure-wise, between the influx of the PlayStation and the Xbox communities just talking to each other. Now we're talking PC now going to Steam, bringing Steam, involved. Then you're talking Stadia with streaming. It's so many infrastructure. So I think that is completely D3. That's long-term vision. I think, like I said, Cross Save was the intermediary step where we kind of get everybody together and be able to play where they want, and that's cool. D3 is that, and I would love it to be. You know what I'm saying? I would love it to be. The only thing, though, it's gonna still be tough because Bungie's on their own. You know what I'm saying? So and dedicated servers ain't cheap.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They not cheap. So like during the Activision days, we had more of a reason to yell and say, yo, what is up? Like, why don't you have this? And that's really Activision. There was no excuse, right, for them to not have dedicated. With as much money they make hand over fist with these games, the Call of Duties and all that stuff.
Make enough money. We didn't make $1 billion more than we thought we would. God.
Exactly. Stop it, right? So, you know, that to me is the thing. So I got to see how they're going to go with it. But yeah, I mean, I think right now they got to worry about just everyone playing nice together with data as far as transferring. You know what I'm saying? Once they can prove that, then D3, they tackle the next big one.
Yeah, I mean, they control the API. They control the data where you get your stuff from, and then it's how you interact with, you know, their system. It's like if DIM can interact with like your inventory and your vault and stuff like that, so can PlayStation, Xbox, Stadia, and PC. You can all talk to the same, like, where's your box of information? Okay, I'm pulling stuff from his box. Like, that's fine. Now, the funny thing Dizzy actually said, do you actually think Stadia is going to be, because Stadia is going to be, it's based on their server. So you're working on controlling, but they actually have control of that server game.
Right.
So but here's the thing. I was like, I don't know the specifics how that all works, but you're not like, they're not pure matchmaking to my computer. Right. You're going to matchmake to a server that Google's running. So it's like,
now Google is dedicated. Now Dizzy's got a point. I mean, it's a possibility. The only issue comes down to
your connection.
You know, connection. And then if they were to do that, they would have to pony up. Like dedicated servers are like, I work in cloud infrastructure. Dedicated servers aren't cheap. Like, so shout out to the police that's going on right now. Shout out to those guys. They agree. It's like
they're working out there.
They're like, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. Shout out to them. We might mute them for a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, man, it's like the only way that happens is if that partnership is truly exclusive. And they say, okay, if we give you, and Neil said, what's that? If we give you Destiny as an exclusive streaming platform, right? Then Bungie could turn around and say, okay, then you give us a really discounted rate on dedicated servers, right? And to help facilitate all this cross-save stuff and all that. So it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's out the realm. I don't think. Plus, it would destroy my Microsoft theory all the way. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, then they will not be able to use. They will be the de facto streaming platform, which I still don't think Bungie would do. I still think Bungie wants the game to be on as many devices, as many platforms as they possibly can, because it's beneficial to the online population and the thriving of the game. But we will see. I mean, I'll tell you this. Like, let's just say they did do the deal.
Yep.
I wouldn't be mad. I mean, game's still going to be on Xbox anyway, but it's just a matter of if it's streaming exclusive. But let's just say they had Google dedicated servers. That's still a win. That's still a win, man. Because now you're talking D3 setting up and future connectivity on dedicated servers. I take it because we definitely want that. Let's be honest. You know, peer to peer, it is what it is. It's just not that great. And you know, we want to eliminate as much problems as we can. What you think?
I mean, it's interesting because Stadia has that like timing. They have to figure out how they're going to launch. When does Stadia launch? Like date wise, when is it live?
November.
Yeah. So you're not going to be playing. Yeah, Stadia arrives this November. Okay, that's what I thought. So it's not going to be like day and date, obviously, for Destiny. But like, how big of a game is Destiny? Is not small.
Yeah. That's a big
game. I mean, for them to be saying Stadia, you have to have a reason to buy Stadia. You're like, okay, so it's $9.99. I might get this and the other, and they can pair in there as well. And it may sound cool in theory. And of course, as you said, not everybody's going to have the connection to be able to use it. But usually, I'm wondering how much Bungie actually had to pay. Is like, hey, if we want to launch on Stadia, be like, we've got an expansion. We have this new thing that we're doing. We're this free to play. But I don't know if they had to pay as much as partner with them to be like, hey, we're going to help you launch your platform as being just to be a partner. It's like, because I mean, they need a substantial like set of the Baldur's Gate 3 teaser. Then you got Ubisoft's behind them with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and then Division.
Division's over
you
there.
have three pillars.
Woo.
3 pillars of like major companies, but Bungie on their own saying, hey, it's like, let's work together and see, because we're trying to get this in everybody's hands. Like, I don't know if I think they're actually working together more than being like, hey, let me pay to put this on your platform, can I have dedicated service? Hey, let's help launch this thing together. And like, it comes with the Founders Edition of Stadia. You get Destiny 2 with that. That's a selling point for them to say, hey, you're going to buy this controller that's $70. You're going to get this Chromecast Ultra, which I don't know how much it costs. I got to look. And you get a $60 game for $130. Like, the controller and the game is $130 plus the cast, plus 3 months, plus 3 months for a friend. Like, that package they're using specifically Destiny to sell their product. There is a reason.
Facts.
So, like, I mean, that's an impressive choice for one. Bungie being like, hey, we're Google, we do crazy stuff. We picked Bungie and we picked Destiny to co-launch this thing. Like, that's an impressive like partnership right there.
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, but that's what I'm saying. I think that partnership will lead to benefits for both sides. Not that Bungie's like, hey, can I have discounted like servers? I'm like, hey, let's do this together. Like, and then maybe if that partnership works well, maybe they can use Google servers or something like that. Something like that down the road. So I think the Stadia thing, even like if Stadia functions or not, which hopefully it does, because I'm sure I'll try it at some point. But I think just having Google be a partner is huge for them to be able to have flexibility and stuff down the road. So I'm hoping that actually really helps them out. Sorry, long-winded discussion again.
No, this is good discussion. It's very interesting to see. This is where I need Hogue. This is where we got to get. If we could somehow get behind the scenes of that contractual agreement, which allowed, is it a marketing deal for streaming? Is it an exclusivity deal for streaming? Is there an exchange?
Because you're talking about like xCloud being an option and stuff like that later on. So you're wondering if like, hey, if Stadia's the only one that streams, otherwise you got to buy your download copy and play it normal as opposed to stream it.
Because Stadia could say, I mean, if they want to be aggressive and they're the new kid on the block, they're the first kid on the block with streaming, right? So they could say, yo, we'll do this with you, but we have to be the exclusive streaming platform, right? We know Steam is now, they've taken it off of Battle.net, right? Steam is going to be the de facto PC platform, right?
I was going to get to Neo's comment right there. They said no exclusivity. That's the one thing they harped on hardcore.
They did. But remember, we have to look at it in the context of platform, right? Streaming represents a different entity. That's a new entity. I'm not saying what he's saying is wrong. He could very be well right. It could still not be exclusive. It could stream anywhere, right? But again, we know xCloud is coming, right? So the key is going to be, is Microsoft allowed with their soon-to-be streaming platform to stream Destiny? You know what I'm saying?
Honestly,
that's the big question.
I would say, I know you're muting for the love out there. Shout out to the hard workers in the world. Honestly, I think like the Bungie bought their independence however they did it. They spent time to buy their independence. And I think at this point, this is like, hey, we're going to pair up with Google to help, we're going to use this as another platform out there.
I'm with you.
But I don't think they're going to say, no, you can't stream this on Xbox, or you can't stream this on PS5's thing, or Azure, or xCloud, or whatever all the infrastructure is going to be called. I think it's going to be where you play Destiny. And I don't think they would say, oh, well, I got an Xbox with xCloud. Well, you can't stream it there. I don't think they would do that because of their messaging is so strong to say, play it that is one of their 3 pillars. They started with that little elevator pitch. Is to say, so I don't think they would do that. So I was like, I understand. I understand. Like, you're like, hey, maybe they paid. It's like, I think Bungie at this point will help you launch it, but we still have our freedom to put it wherever we want to.
I'm with you, and it literally ties into why I still expect to see it on Microsoft stage or announced by Microsoft at some point when it comes.
Well, hopefully, you'll get to see it firsthand. We'll see.
We'll see when I go out there. But no, I agree. This is a great discussion. I just love tech stuff like this. I love hearing behind the scenes how deals get done. And this stuff is fun. It's real fun because like I said, just to see, let's just call it what it is. Them being on Stadia is a good move for visibility and more access for the game. At the end of the day, however this plays out, there's a whole community that doesn't have a box, that doesn't have a high functional PC, that may have a potato of a rig. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And you're saying, hey, I can go on my phone. I can go on my tablet. I can go on my browser. All I have to do, and I'm just reading right now, the controller is not mandatory. You can keyboard mouse it. You can keyboard mouse. I've just read right now one of their Stadia. Go to the Stadia account right now.
Yeah, they said
Twitter
it. You
account.
could.
Yeah. So literally, you can do. That's crazy, man. That's a whole new player base that is part of that don't play consoles, that don't play Destiny, that's going to be privy to Destiny for the first time. And if the subscription is what it is, and they just buy that whatever $10, whatever it is a month, that's hey, you may have a whole new base, a whole influx of people.
Indeed. Did Bungie break, by the way? Oh, nope, there it is. Okay. I'm just waiting to see if we'll actually get it TWAB at some point, but probably not. Yeah, so, I mean, I think at this point they are going out of their way to say we're going to be wherever you want to be, so that free-to-play. But honestly, for them, I mean, think about if you don't get the Founders, but you just do the $9.99. Do you think that's going to come with the new light, or do you think that's going to come with Shadowkeep?
I think it's probably just new light. I think they're the vibe I'm getting from the messaging is the packaging is they want you to get that whole package for Shadowkeep. So yeah, again, if I had to guess, I'm gonna basically looking at it right now is I think that's the route most likely they're gonna go with.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, this is it's interesting times, man. This is interesting times. Love it. Yeah, Shadowkeep next generation with Stadia collection with Stadia Pro.
So here is when you look at the standard edition of Shadowkeep. So wherever you buy it, however you get around to getting your hands on Shadowkeep, this is what it's going to contain. 1, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep does not require ownership of any previous Destiny 2 expansions to play. Don't even have to have touched anything. You could have skipped Forsaken. Still play it, you're good. Now, features. Now, there's a specific inclusion and exclusion that I want to talk about here.
Let's get to it.
New missions and quests. There's going to be a campaign, we know. There's going to be some type of story to this thing. Going in and figure out what Eris did, what she messed up, what she break. Quests, we know those are going to be there. And that's going to be like, whether it's exotics, whether it's like, here's the side mission or things like that. New destination, we know is going to be the moon, twice as big. Here's my other baby.
I already know. Yep.
New dungeon.
Fire.
Woo!
Fire.
Now, in that little Vidoc, did you get where you think that dungeon's going to be?
I didn't catch. Put me on.
My hunch in their discussion, being it was kind of mentioned separately, Black Garden.
Yes. Because
that discussion sounded at the exact same. They were talking about new dungeon. They're running around the Black Garden, and they're like, "Well, that's not any way related to the moon. That's Venus and Mars, some weird combination in the middle. That's separate. So if that's the dungeon, I'm like, send me there."
Oh yeah,
dungeons are amazing. So no new dungeon. So
that's a happy man right there. Y'all don't know that is a happy man right there. His Shattered Throne Fields just came back.
Well, okay. Either way, they say there's a dungeon and a raid in the same couple bullet points. So wherever it happens, we'll see.
This ain't small content.
New armor and gear, of course. All new raid. Not shocking. Oh, they said the raid was Black Garden, I believe. So maybe the raid is in the Black Garden. Okay. How does that work, by the way?
Yeah, right.
If this is all about the nightmares and Shadowkeep and the story connects, and you're talking about Hive and these nightmares, is the Black Garden is the little floating orb that in the Black Garden that we killed, is that what's been fueling all these nightmares?
This is news to me. They got to tie it.
I don't know. I don't. And that's kind of the one.
And he did say that to cut you. They did say, I don't know if you caught this line. I think Luke said it. What the thing that they loved about Forsaken was how you did all that, and then you did the raid, and then you saw the Dreaming City and the curse of the cycle evolve. So, you know what I'm saying? This literally Black Garden, something's going on that's gonna make us go there.
Something's in the Black Garden, whether it's a dungeon. And that was the thing about the dungeon in Forsaken. It was very connected to that 3-week cycle story. That was tied in, Dylan. The lore behind that is actually bananas when you hear why is the 3-week cycle happening? When we kill Dylan Caro, we start over and we do the 3-week cycle again. The lore behind that whole sequence, whether it's annoying that you only have the 3 weeks to play it anyway, the fact that the reason that cycle is there is bananas.
Yes,
So
fire.
if the dungeon actually has any lore connotations, whether the raid is in Black Garden or the dungeon is in Black, if there's some connection between all that insanity, whoa,
Boom.
craziness.
Craziness.
And the War Blackjack is saying Kyria and the Vex.
Mm.
So that could be
be,
interesting because then
Could
Vex
be.
would finally give some tie-in to the other planets when you go
Yes.
to like so. I don't know.
So
So
many
the
ways.
dungeon for me has me obviously hyped. I will throw my money at the screen long ago. Yeah, just seriously throwing my wallet at the screen.
It is, baby. Let's go.
Season pass for the season of the
Of the
Undying.
Undying. We got the name.
It was actually, if you look in the game right now, it's in there. If you go click
Oh,
on
okay.
season 7, and then it'll
Yeah.
say everything about season 7 of Opulence on the bottom. Season of Undying, like next season, season of Undying. So it's actually already been out there.
Fire.
Pre-order Destiny 2 Shadowkeep on PlayStation or Xbox One and receive Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris and Warmind to begin playing today. So you can actually start doing that. Pre-purchase to also receive the Two-Tailed Fox exotic rocket launcher and an exclusive Hive-themed ornament once Destiny 2 Shadowkeep launches. So that's like an interesting little... It's just they're giving you an exotic... I don't know.
That's
Standalone of Destiny 2 Shadowkeep includes a digital copy of the game and a single season pass providing exclusive activities and rewards. First purchase per account for the asterisks. All subsequent include...
Not to cut you. Did we finally comment on the death of exclusive exotics and exclusive...
Oh my god, yes. Like, no more exclusive. That stops in September.
Whew,
Is there still a strike that we haven't played on PC? Is there? There is one, isn't there? Yeah, there's one. Well, hey, see, there you go. There's your new strike. Now, I'm really excited. It says missions, quests, dungeons, destinations. They're going to talk about PvP. What I don't see in there? Strikes.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I don't see strikes.
Yep.
I don't see strikes. Yeah, we might have to take the L on that. Because I'm acquiescing to you. There's only so much they can do. You know what I'm saying? So listen, if I gotta say, do I want strikes in the whole shebang or wait? I take this. I'm good. I'm not gonna. They are really giving a lot. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I miss strikes. I really do. But maybe what the hope is, maybe with the next season, post season of the Undying, we could put money that we're gonna say most likely it's not going to be a raid right after. I would think that would be a lot. That would be season of Opulence raid, season of Undying raid, and then another. That would be a lot to ask. So
yeah, because they did last. Who made Black Armory? I'm trying to remember who made that because I know Vicarious made Season of Opulence.
Don't remember.
And I don't know if they had help with Black Armory because I mean, the Last Wish was Bungie. So then, if there was another, like for Black Armory, they made the labs and they made the Scourge of the Past.
Yeah.
So that was back-to-back raids in 3 months, and then we had the 6-month break, obviously, till Opulence. Yeah. So you get a raid now. Then when's your raid?
What was the timeline? The timeline for Armory was what? December. When did we get Armored? December. Yeah. I would say December. Whatever the season comes out, there cannot be a raid. That is too many raids. They need a break. They need to reload. Yes. What? Yes. I see. Listen. I can admit. I got no problem admitting. They need a break then.
So then, do you put it in the middle? Do you put it in March? Or do you put it in like your June thing?
Probably.
Like do it.
When is Drifter? Drifter was March, right?
Drifter was March. Yeah.
See, the key is, do you think they?
But it's like if your raid goes in March and that's a PvE focused thing, where do you put your PvP trials season situation?
I'm curious to see.
Big curveballs I'm throwing at you right now.
Yeah. I love it though. Like. I'm curious to see if Annual Pass keeps the cadence of 3
months.
3 is a lot.
Well, if you scroll down and you get to the Shadowkeep Digital Deluxe Edition, it comes with everything in the normal Shadowkeep.
Oh my God, 4
season passes.
Wow.
Now you get one. Wow. You get season 8 with Shadowkeep, so that's basically a season, and you get everything in there specifically. But there are 4.
Wow. They are working. I gotta shut up. They are working. Like this is like, I'm like, yo, to be honest, now I'm like, yo, how y'all doing this? This sounds like way too much. Like, I'm like,
what?
Do y'all got time to work on D3?
Oh, I'm sorry. What is all this we're talking about? This is the weirdest discussion. We're coming full circle all the way back to D3 discussion.
I'm coming full circle right now. Like 4 season passes. That's a lot. So what does? Why not 3? This is interesting. You know, because look.
Well, 1 is included with Shadowkeep, so you still have It's like the annual pass. Just literally season 8 is right there and with Shadowkeep.
So that would be 1, right?
1, and then So it's the full year of what we just went through. It's Forsaken, Season of the Forge, Season of the Drifter, Season of Opulence. It's another year.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
It's not like you're doing 3-month seasons.
Okay, right. You're right. So basically, they're counting.
Cadence.
So basically, Shadowkeep is the equivalent of Forsaken, which counts as 1.
Yep.
Okay, I got it. All right. So then it's the same. It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
I guess it's interesting because all I'm doing in my mind is trying to line up when D3 is going to launch.
Yeah.
Right. So when I see this, because I don't know, for some reason I thought maybe D3 end of 2020, right? Or
PS5,
top of 20,
Xbox 2.
Yeah,
that time frame seems fitting.
Yeah. Now, because we know it. I don't see D3. I think they have to take a break after the 4th one, which would be the summer of 2020, which would be the Season of Opulence, right?
Season of Opulence Season of Opulence 2, if we're going for reference points for you guys.
Yes, Season of Opulence 2020. I don't think you could come back again and say, boom, Rise of Iron, right? That is when I defer to you now and say, you have to, next gen's out, right? Because September, next gen won't be, I don't think they'll launch. This is just my gut. Again, I could be wrong, whatever. My gut tells me September, there's no Shadowkeep 2 because November, there's going to be the new consoles, right? We're going to have the PlayStation 5 and we'll have the Xbox Scarlet or what have you, right? This is tough. Because they kind of did do that with Destiny 2. Because didn't Destiny 2 launch regular? I'm bugging. I'm trying to remember. What was Destiny 2? The old generation was out already? I'm trying to remember now. It's got to go back in time.
I mean, what did PlayStation come out in 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it was already out. Yeah, we already crossed the generational.
Yeah.
This is interesting because at some point they have to prep D3 for next generation consoles.
Can I have that in writing? Since you,
but
that's what I've been trying to say this entire time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
at some point, 4 season. You're even looking at that saying, "Hey, that sounds like a lot to keep up with." We saw how PvP was now neglected, and they mentioned as to why. They're seeing all these pieces. They are on their own. They do not have other studios. Where do you have? So, okay, no. So, my question is, so then you're saying, they have to take a break to prep for D3. How does that break work? That's what I've been asking for a while. It's how do you see that break functioning?
They have to basically, after the season, say, okay, all hands on deck. There will be no more season after this fourth season of Shadowkeep, and say all hands on deck for 2021 launch, or unless they keep September. It's all about cadence. This is a weird thing. It's very strange.
This brings it right back. So what you described is what I had predicted this year. Is you're just saying it's okay next year.
Basically, what I'm saying is it all depends on when they feel comfortable launching D3. It doesn't. Basically, what they've shown so far is that they don't care. They're dropping September. This is what I learned. Because let's be real, we've had this discussion about do not drop when they come. You see the cops. You hear the cops. They were like, don't do it. Don't drop.
They have really good timing, by the way.
All right,
really good timing.
I love it. They're out here tonight. So anyway, so basically, it's now they're saying, we're gonna drop in September, regardless of who's out there. That's ballsy to me. This is a new Bungie. I wasn't expecting this, right? This changes the landscape now.
Yep.
Now, to me, it says, well, maybe they still keep this cadence all the way through.
So
this is different
territory.
territory.
So in your mind, the cadence has changed, but you're also saying Season of Opulence 2, whatever season 2020 is, you're saying that's okay. So if they don't do a September launch then, and they wait for, if they need to prep for D3, is that the point where you're like, hey, if they don't release anything else, everybody's going to forget about them then? I take it back to that line of what you gave me a hard time about previously, because you're just like, hey, they need to prep for D3, they need to take a break, there's not going to be another September expansion. That's literally what I said about the September coming up, and you're like, no, they're going to forget about them. But you just said it's okay in 2020. So I'm asking, how can that function?
I was saying it's okay under the impression that they would not drop. I did not think they were going to drop in September. I'll be honest. Like, there was no way in my mind they're going to Borderlands. They're going to go up against all these heavy hitters. And they just sit there and broke the internet today. They said, we don't care. Like, it was so gangster what they did. They were like, so what? And I'm like, Bungie. And then what's funny is I'm like, yo, it don't matter. They gonna really be like that. So this now, my mind is blown. Like, y'all could do whatever y'all want. So I'm literally in awe right now. This is uncharted territory. Like, Deal Mental, yep. Borderlands, Soldier Boy. Like, they're so what? Like, this was the most gangsters thing I've ever seen. I'm like, you dare not drop around that time. So now that changes the whole scope of the argument now, because to me, it's like, they're going to continue to drop when they want to drop. And they can continue to work on D3 when they want to work on it. And they're giving us 4 season passes. Like, there's no need, there's no crunch. They're acting like they're under no jurisdiction to have to wait. That's why I'm saying, like, now, I don't know. I'm trying to give them a break. And they're like, nah, we're out here. We're good.
No, so here's the other way they can play it. And this is what I wonder if they do. It says 4 season passes. What if those aren't on a very specific cadence? What if they take little breathers in between to space them so they release them when they're ready? What if say Shadowkeep gets through December instead. You have September, October, November, December. They have some other events, and then the next season is January. They space them a little farther. Yeah, give some breather in between, so it's not like a 3-month cadence, like bam, bam, and bam, and bam. It's like bam, little breather, bam, and there's a little more breathing room in there to give them that time to function. So then it's not on this like, hey, and that would let them also break off of that September cycle if they want to. That would just be another way for them to do it, as opposed to every 3 months we have a new season in this like packed environment. And that may be what they want to do, but they also have the freedom to say, hey, season of whatever's after Shadowkeep, we want a little more time to work on it. Hang tight for the next month. It's going to be in January instead.
Hold on for a second. He said one second. He said it might not be. No, there's definitely going to be D3 though, because they did. That oppressed Luke Smith. Yeah. And he pressed him on D3 specifically, and he gave the typical corporate answer, which is, we're not ready to talk about that right now. You know, we're so far ahead. So it's coming. It's definitely. I did think it was going to go MMO all the way, and this is what they're doing. They're just going to stay here. But yeah, D3 is definitely going to come. Yeah, I think you're on it. I think that might be the new wave, which is basically throw out the outside of this September, which is following cadence. Yep. Maybe they say, look, we wait until it's ready, the next content, which would be Black Armory Part 2, right? Black Armory Part 2 cadence doesn't necessarily have to come out December. And then they say, yo, you know what I'm saying? We push that back, or maybe that's January, February, and you space out the cadence of that. And that could totally work, because again, they're free from Activision. You know, that's another way they can do it. It's just interesting to me when like I didn't see this part. That's why when you showed me this and I see the digital collector stuff and it's saying 4 season passes, like I didn't expect that. I'll be honest. I didn't expect it was gonna keep that.
So yeah, the joys of speculation and timing continues.
It's fun.
And then 2 things. If you go to the Bungie store, you have the collector's edition for Shadowkeep, which has a cool thing. They say a hive cryptoglyph which is solvable by what comes in the collector's edition. It's actually a little puzzle box that you're going to have to spin, figure out the key, and open, and I guess decipher Hive to be able to actually understand what's coming next. But there's another piece. You can buy that stuff without buying a game code. You can buy everything in the collector's edition if you want it separately.
Nice. Yes, no game code version. Holler. Taking a look at it right now.
So you got a couple patches, you got some books in there. I can't quite tell what's involved. It's got the soundtrack in the game and that type of stuff. So that will definitely probably be a thing on top of that.
That little buggy thing? You see that little buggy, moon buggy?
Yeah, on the page. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that little book you're showing. So it's the Mars rover. We found it. Da Vinci Code. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Blackwing. It's a little Da Vinci Code, like twisty puzzle box thing. So
yeah, interesting.
So yeah, you got quite a bit of. It's what is it? 129 for that thing.
129, September 17th. Digital.
150. 150. I'm sorry, for the full collectors. Which will come with the digital deluxe, which is 60, and then I guess it's $90 on top for everything it comes with.
Look at Steam up here. Looks good. Looking good.
That's nice. Yeah, Steam took no time at all, by the on.
It's
literally on. It's on top page on Steam.
That was low key. Yeah, Epic Store. What? low key. We know that was
like Borderlands 3, and Steam's like Destiny 2.
Steam was like, we got no problem going up against you with that. What's up, this gangster move, man. Gangster, bro. Like I didn't expect. I was perfectly content with them tucking tail, and I'd have been okay with it. They're like, nah, we here, man. We here. This is wow. This is something.
So what all did we get? We've got Shadowkeep, we've got New Light, we've got crossplay, we've got Destiny 2 is going to Steam. That's everything we got going forward, which is a whole bunch. I'm gonna have to watch that Vidoc again.
Me too. Yeah.
Really, really, really slowly to understand the armor pieces, how that works. And I'll break that down at some point in the future. Stadia blew the doors off of it first. Cross save. They say watch this space for how cross save will work, because at some point, it's just going to be a thing.
Forte. He's like, yo, I'll see you with my 3 Max Guardians in September. Can't wait to run with you guys again. Dude, that's what I was talking about earlier, Forte. I mean, again, forget the content. Even though the content looks amazing, everything they're saying looks amazing, all the gameplay. Just that alone is an earth-shattering. I'm gonna say something crazy. I'm gonna say something crazy, bro. I'm feeling confident, man. I'm feeling like. So what? I'm feeling confident, man. I can't believe I'm going full circle. I went from running and hiding to like, yo, we out basically here. Like,
bring it at this point.
What you gonna do? I got the Hulk Hogan. What you gonna do? When the cross save comes for you, what are you? Because at the end of the day, no disrespect to Borderlands. Great game. We're going to pick it up. No disrespect, right? It looks fun. But when it's done, right? And at the end of the day, you're talking about all my friends. Looking forward to all these people that are Destiny hardcore with Destiny. There's people that love both. But now you're telling the Gothalians and everybody that love Borderlands and all like, yo, 1 week after, get your fun.
4 days.
4 days. 4 days. That is so. Go ahead. Go over there. And then you're going to have to come back over it. I love it. This is a power move. This is such a power move. Wow. Didn't see this coming. Salute to Destiny. Just when, like I tell you, it's the Phoenix. It's rises from the Phoenix. Every time you think it's dead, it's back again.
That's pretty crazy, huh?
Crazy how things work, man. Wow. Who would have thought we'd be having this conversation?
Yeah, I honestly did not know, but no, like I mean, the free to play way to get into it. You've got it looks so good, like so much positive stuff coming soon. I honestly can't wait. But we still have to talk about what just came out. So how much? Okay, so Season of Opulence. We finally made it to the topic because we just basically said, hey, new stuff in the future counts more than right now. And that's probably true for a lot of you guys. But we still got to talk about Season of Opulence. How much have you touched it?
Not much, brother. This is going to be me listening to you at the fireplace right now. But I'm Indian style.
You're just sitting there waiting for the cheetah to spill some knowledge.
You got to tell me, brother. Literally all I did was get my invitation. I went to the barge. barely got shot around a few things. But you tell me, I haven't even seen the break it down. What's the menagerie like? Tell me, what's it like out here, man?
Yeah. So the menagerie is kind of awesome, actually. Christian
Wow.
is. So it's got mechanics to it. There's rooms. There's timers on it. You go through it twice. It's not there. You'll have encounters have variations to them. You won't have the same order of encounters. The final boss seems to be the same. That's where the bosses are going to be changing as they rotate those in. So, what is the menagerie? Well, it starts, for one, Season of Opulence launches. A lot of people were just leveling up just like I was, trying to get into the raid in 24 hours. That didn't happen. That thing was hard. But that 6-hour grind. God. So, okay. Oh. So, the 6-hour grind, the contest modifier is an interesting thing.
Okay, break it down.
That sets a difficulty. And it doesn't matter if you were 750, the contest modifier is going to make you 700 when you fight that first encounter. And they can pick whatever they want the enemies to be. They were 715, 720. That stuff hurt. You had to be on point, precision, couldn't die, had to execute together. We didn't the people I leveled up with, we even went in that next afternoon after most of us were like 715, 720, hoping to be ready for like the next, couldn't even beat the first encounter.
Wow.
So that contest modifier took like just damn near perfect execution. Because if you died, a lot of the way that raid works, spoiler warning, I'll give you guys about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, is the fact that you have, basically it's called a buff. It's a witch's blessing. Half the team will have it, half won't. And you're splitting up into little duos. And both of you have to be alive, because the things you need to shoot and do stuff with is you need both of you. So say there's 3 crystals. Each crystal has to be shot by a person with and without the blessing. And you're like changing who has the blessing all the time. So you have these little duos that are going the whole time. But if one of you dies, that crystal can't get killed unless somebody comes over and covers. And then you got to figure out, did you have the blessing and did you not? So dying was just awful. And you were so squishy at that level. So that was why it was brutal. Now, I didn't get past the first encounter. I know there's a jumping puzzle and some stuff like that, and then the boss is 2 phases. I saw that. So I haven't seen the jumping puzzle at all, actually. And the boss is like phase 1 and then phase 2, kind of like Scourge of the Past. It has a similar length, I think, actually. So it's got 1 jumping puzzle, phase 1, phase 2 for the bosses. So I think it's basically Scourge in length once people get it down.
Yeah, yep.
But you are going to have to, those mechanics, shout out to Pyro, I was talking to him for a second, kind of more annoying on the mechanics, like not his favorite.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there. I watched it. I did watch Dado's second place stream. I watched
that felt bad, but shout out to what he got to do today.
Shout out to them. They crushed it. I just wanted to see, because basically I watched Esoteric's final encounter for the win. Then I watched Dado's entire run, right? So when I saw the first encounter, I liked it. I just felt it went too long. I felt like you
have to get the 4 lanterns. Yeah, it takes. We got so shout out to Bender in chat and the rest of the team. It was Hampton and Summer and
salute Bender.
Yeah, Hampton, Summer, Mayor, and then Mimi Toast. That was just the ones that I had, and the 6 of us, we got to halfway through the first encounter. So. Wow. Yeah, it was like we got the mechanics, we had it down, kind of had a different strat that we got later on in that afternoon the next day that was kind of helping, but execution is so key. Now, if I went in now at like 725 on that first encounter, you wouldn't be as squishy and we could probably go do it. That's why I still want to try and do it this weekend. So
see how it is.
The level of the contest cap, and I think that's one of those things, if they want to launch that raid, now they have the contest that's like, I don't care if you level, prime engram, what, you could give like 2 weeks. And then just slap that contest modifier on there. And even if you're 750, it doesn't matter. You're still going to play that raid at the level they want you to play you for the raid race. And then after that, then it can be fine and normal. And then people might go stomp it, I guess, at a higher level. But that contest raid race would be curated to whatever they pick.
Okay.
So they could do that later, but it was like just forcing it in 6 hours. For one, that whole like picture and spreadsheet that people were saying, hey, plan the stuff on all 3 characters, go to Dreaming City and Shadow. You don't have 6 hours to do all that stuff. I'm sorry. That was not going to happen on 3 characters. Now, maybe the people who were up there got there, but I got pretty lucky by the time raid was coming around. I was about 715. And I got lucky. I got lucky on drops. I started to get screwed after we kind of we're doing some of the other stuff, and I got like 4 energy weapons in a row, and that happened later. But I mean, generally for me, it's too fast to force that. And the best way to do that is go play old stuff. So then you reinvigorate that whole like argument of people saying, hey, this is that whole thing of, you know, the leveling has issues and going to play the old content and stuff like that. You forced people to do that. If people got to play the Menagerie and then, hey, I'll go get to do this, and had a couple casual weeks to go play some content, some of the new stuff, experiment with Menagerie, and then like, hey, if you're over level, cool, we're still going to set this contest, and then you go. I still think that would be a better way to do that. The contest is cool because it levels it. Like first encounter, you're 700. I don't care if you're 750. And then that last encounter, you're 720 fighting 735. Whatever they set it at, that's fine.
You're fine with that.
That's, I mean, however they decide to do that. In theory, that does level the playing field, which is cool. But then in turn, it just forced you to like just burn yourself out for 6 hours, and then when you got into the grind, you were already like you were kind of like drained just grinding for light, then to turn around and start grinding for the raid for however many hours. And then shout out to Be Bold, Carolina Gamer, Esoteric. I know there's other people. Those are the 2 I remember. And then Dado's Math Class and Slayer Age. Like that was the closest 1-2 finish they said they've ever had.
Yeah, they did mention that. Yeah.
And I will say, by the way, if you're tapping your foot on your desk, you're shaking your camera.
Sorry.
Just saying, I caught myself doing it before, so I just
it's a force to have it.
Just keep it.
I'm intrigued
on the carpet. So they. I mean, shout out to them executing under that contest modifier because it whooped us on the first one. So they put that together and had everything.
Wait, I want to back you up. So you're a fan of the first? I mean, the contest rules.
The contest modifier is nice. It could use some tweaks for like how the level it makes, but if they want to make it an even fight, give people time to level up. So like grinding in 6 hours still leaves a lot of room for RNG to screw you over. So like in 6 hours, you have a lot of room. Over the course of like a week or something like that, RNG would have a chance to kind of level itself out for a lot of people. But then if you slap the contest modifier on 1 week later, RNG or not, you are going to base. If you've been playing enough, you should probably be okay in a week. Like I got to 720 in a couple days. There's a lot of crap and ways to get powerful gear, and the Menagerie is a new one. We'll get to in a minute.
Right.
And you're saying I don't think they want people to get some of the powerful weapons before the raid, and like that is one of those things. But as like I don't think there's too much out there that's going to break the raid overall. That you would probably get in that first week. But that raid itself is, you could be higher. You could just let people breathe a little more. Then you could be like, okay, everybody's ready. Take your day off. Go in fresh. Bam. Reset. Go for the raid. But that contest modifier sets it so I don't care how high you are. Everyone faces that first encounter the same. Then it is understanding the raid. Then it is working together, executing as a team on a level playing field. But you don't have to like bash your head against the grind for 6 hours to try and get as high as possible. Still maybe have RNG screw you over. Maybe be a little bit under leveled, even though we're all supposed to be even.
So you're okay. I get what you're saying. Your main thing is that grind, that 6 hour
just
grind commitment is just too short. You know what I'm saying? So what do you say to the people? I feel where you're coming from. I guess my counter argument would be, what do you say to the people that say, look, you know, you got to take the day off. If you want to do it, if you want that world first, you got to, I don't know, you know, the hardcore, whatever. Like, because the vibe I got, again, just looking from the outside, I was a little surprised that it was kind of like the same people. It wasn't like, I thought it would be, I mean, as someone, no disrespect, like, have they been in the mix before? You know, with Be Bold and those guys? Like, have they been in raid mixes before?
I mean, I talked to CG for a little bit, Carolina Gamer. Just a little bit in DMs and stuff, just as I thanked him for a little help on something else. Yeah. He said, I mean, PvE is a huge thing. I mean, obviously we know Esoteric is, for sure.
He's not.
So, I mean, yeah, it's like, so playing with that group, PvE is their thing. So, I mean, I think they may have tried before. I don't know if you were like, you know, getting like decent top finishes and stuff, but not quite there. I mean, obviously Glad was still in there. Data was still in there. Those guys may have been trying, may not just have had same execution or leveling or anything like that before. But I mean, I think they have been trying before. So I don't know if they're, I mean, they have some damn skilled people on that team though. So that's why I was like, I wasn't surprised when I heard when I saw the list and I saw those two on there alone. I was like, okay, yeah, that for sure. But yeah, I don't know if there was a lot of underdogs. CAC has still got first one on console.
Nice.
So I mean, like it still seemed like a lot of the same
Yeah, that's
big
the
groups
vibe I
still got
got.
world's first.
Interesting.
So
I'm just surprised by it. I mean, that's all. I mean, obviously, Cream is going to rise to the top. We know that. But I was just interested to see with all this new, contest rules, so to speak, I'm gonna call it, that if that would change up and we would get new faces. It didn't really seem like, not that there's a bad thing. I mean, these guys are just that good. I mean, we got to give it up to what it is. So I was just curious about that. And in reference to the whole 6 hour thing, I'm with you. I feel you. I mean, I knew, first of all, my schedule just been too crazy. I'm prepping for E3. You already know that. Like, and I try my best to try to. Everything was going wrong. There was no way I could. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna give it up. I'm just gonna watch you guys. I'm gonna cheer on from the sidelines and see what's going on. And what I've determined for me, there's no way, unless the stars align and I'm off work and there's nothing going on and boom, you know what I'm saying? I'll do it. But other than that, to me, it seems like a special type of commitment. And I think that's just what it comes down to. I'm not saying that you're not committed, because clearly you are. You know what I'm saying? So I guess, I don't know. I guess it's just you got to have a six
So that's what I'm saying. If you're looking to widen the playing field,
talk to me.
Give them a week or 10 days like they did for Last Wish, but slap contest on there. So even if you're above, everybody's at a level playing field. But you give more people like you who are work, but you're like, hey, I can grind out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Guys, I'm not social this weekend. I'm working on leveling up. I am gonna the only day I still take off is that raid grind day. But more people get a chance to get up there. Now
I feel you.
But like the people like Beeble, like Glad, like Math Class, all those guys still take the time to be like, hey, we run raids, we think together, we execute, we're damn skilled players. Like, there is something you can't, having the time to get ready is still not going to make that. Like, those people are going to be like, they're extremely skilled players, but giving, RNG and things like that and more people, that group can pull it through because those people have done it before. But if you give people just trying to figure out puzzles and mechanics and things like that, and everybody, there was...
That makes... Yeah, I feel you.
There were plenty of people I were seeing that waited for it to be beaten so they could go into Last Wish, so they could go into Scourge, and they could level up more. Because that last encounter was kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah, I think...
So it was literally just the level. So if everybody got to fight the encounters at 700, 710, 720, or whatever the numbers are in between, I don't know. If everybody was above that enough to where everybody had an even fight, that would truly be there is no question this level, and you get a week and a half to get there. Okay, yeah, you're going to have to play, you're going to have to commit, and if you're on vacation, that one may not happen. But if you do have some time in that window, 3 or 4 days, switch off a couple characters, play a couple hours a night, get yourself ready, then that one day you still take off, but it widens it. I think that would be the only thing that widens it. And I think Say No to Rage, I listened to one of his. He was probably saying something.
I like Say No.
Literally the same thing. Like that. He was like, I like the contest, could use some tweaks, but the 6 hour window's too short. And I was like, and that's probably the biggest thing. I agree. Now, having experienced that too.
Okay. So then what about this? I know we're beating this to death. I just got to ask you one. What about this Tuesday launch? What about Friday with contest rules? So you got maybe
3 days?
Yeah, 3 days not enough for you. 700 to whatever, and then they still cap you first encounter, second, last encounter, or whatever.
Would you have time in 3 days?
Yes, 3 days. Give me time.
Crazy
3 days. One of them. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be capped, right?
You are going to be capped to a point, but I'm just saying, this week right now wouldn't have given you enough time. There's no way in hell you would have had enough time.
I would have played if I wasn't traveling to E3 or
well, that's why So E3 is an odd example, but I'm just saying 3 days or even just a week, you're kind of getting to the point where the shorter the window, the more RNG can screw people. Right. If you get 6 gloves and 4 energy weapons in a low, you're sitting here at the same thing. I got 8 of my power drops and I'm kind of screwed. There's almost the point where if you go a full extra week, if you did the 10 days Last Wish, but you'll be fine, but that contest levels the playing field first, and then you may be able to jump in and be over leveled, which they may not want to, and that's a balance I don't know how they would. And that's the other side I don't know. But for that first time through, more than 6 hours, 3 days, I don't know, even 4. Start on a Saturday.
Enough, bro. 36 hours, bro. Not enough.
3 days is 72 hours.
72 is good. 72 is not enough.
Like, I got there and I know how much I played. But it just, what if they did it on a damn Saturday? What if they did it on like a Saturday at noon? Less people probably had to take off at work. It's not in the middle of a week. I know they like watching it up at a Bungie theater, but they live there. Go drive back up there and watch it. You do that once a quarter. I think you guys can go back to work and watch it in the theater. And just like
bitter. He sounds bitter. No, I'm just joking with you. I'm messing with you.
But no, it's like, I mean, my level didn't matter. I was going in 715 and I still felt squishy. So the contest modifier took execution is my point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like that's the point where I don't think it would have mattered for us, just because I was feeling squishy and just it's hard, and it was a hard thing to execute. Like there can't be a flaw of like I'm standing in the wrong spot in fire, I die doing Knight's Fire. Like you can't do that. Like you have to be perfect with that thing on. So I don't know how to solve the problem of after the raid launches, people being over leveled and making it too easy. You still have to execute, but it would be too easy. But I think leveling the more time you give before it launches levels the playing field better, is my opinion. So like mine would be about a week if I had to pick a time frame. It would be a week.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm leaning with the 3 or 4 days, but I wouldn't be mad if they did a week. Because remember, it also the other reason why I think a week works. What you're saying in conjunction with the raid being extensive, like a last wish. But if these raids are, to me, these are a little bigger than raid layers. And I think that is really what, from what I saw, like 3 major encounters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The boss has 2 phases. The first is one. The jumping puzzle I haven't seen, but there's
you know what I mean? So I think
half,
that's what it is. Yeah. So I mean, it's an experiment. We'll see if they tweak, you know what I mean, if they want to, do anything like that. But I definitely would like to see more people in the mix. But shout out to them guys. They did their thing, even with the restrictions and 6 hours. Shout out to them. There was no way I was doing it. I was just like, I'm just not in the right possibility this week.
Yeah. So like, shout out to both of them. Just like both teams going nuts right in there. So it was not an easy thing with that contest modifier. I don't think there were a lot of people out there with that emblem. So we'll see now as the grind already happened for a lot of people. Like people are to a point where now if you went back in at this level at a normal light, maybe we'll be getting a decent amount of raid jackets out there. We'll see. So I would like to still try for that jacket. So
yeah, Jack's fire.
The other piece is the menagerie.
Ooh, yeah, break it down.
So the menagerie, basically you get the invitation, and this is how they did it too. It's on all characters that the power boost works. So as you go through the quest of the menagerie, it starts sending gear that you're picking up at 690, sends it to the other 2. I saw it pop into my postmasters on the other 2. So you're just getting 690 on the other characters. So nice. So it gets you in there pretty quick. It's a quest about the chalice. You go out, do a couple things. It's pretty straightforward. There's a little, so Benedict is basically, or no, it's actually a new guy. It's like Werner 9940. It's the dude on the barge, the big gold ship. That's the thing. That's where you go is the barge and talk to the other robot. But Callus is talking through the robot. Yes. So you wanted your connection. You had the voice lines from Callus. It wasn't quite a cinematic, but you had that.
Something. That's all. Yep. That's all.
It has like the Hive have invaded. We're here. We're doing, so that's, there was at least the voice lines to explain that. So that was cool. So the way I'll go Chalice first, or I'll go Menagerie first, and then I'll go Chalice, because Chalice is the complicated piece. Which shout out to Nearest. Follow that man on Twitter. He's gonna have some fun infographics when all the stuff's figured out. It's not quite as crazy, but I know there's probably gonna be some specific ones. Yeah. The Menagerie is, I'm trying to think of the encounters I've had. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 or 6 different encounters. And they're all timed. The farther you have like a bar that you fill, and if you start over here, and like the first encounter, you kind of suck and you only get here. But the second encounter, you like completely knock out and you make more progress on the bar. And then you're like, okay, so I got here. And then if the third encounter you do well, you've only got 3. But if you like shorten them up, you might have more time in 4 encounters. And then it finally steers you back to the boss room. So the encounters, I've had 2 different counters be different. Or one encounter have 2 different variations. But everything's timed. The mechanics aren't too crazy. They're pretty straightforward. There's one where you're just trying to hold down plates, basically, by being overrun by lots and lots of stuff. But it, like, escalates the longer you're there. There's triumph for trying to get through these things without the time running out, which I haven't done any of those yet, because the bosses just keep getting crazier and crazier. So light level is going to be a thing to be able to be powerful in there. Okay. And then even the boss mechanics aren't too crazy, and the boss doesn't have a time limit on him. So if you finally work through the encounters, you get back to the boss rooms, people seem to coordinate, and it's more just seems about survival. I haven't experienced the point where I've lost one yet. I've only done a few, but I haven't lost. But there's one, for example, like you're running around, there's knights, normal knights with like the shield that you can break. Yeah. So you're walking along, they will beat the hell out of you and nearly one-shot you. So you got to shoot those from a little bit of distance, but they drop a sword, a hive sword. Then there's knights walking around that have a actual projected shield on them. You can break that with the sword. Then when the shield drops, then everybody can damage them. So then you're all getting a lot of more people. So as soon as the knights die, then you get swords and more people have swords running around. Then the knights turn into ogres with shields. Now the ogres actually don't smash you as much if you're smashing them a lot. Then you're breaking those shields. So it escalates like the levels. And then I think I got to one, we didn't kill it, but I saw like a named ogre, which might be the final one in the sword encounter.
Right.
There's another one like Argos. You pick up these little void skulls and you have to break purple crystals with your beam, but those things will also just wreck the enemies. So it's your timing of how quick can you get through the waves of crystals and not die. Then there's little mini bosses that spawn. But no matter if you don't make it through in a full encounter, whatever length of time, whatever like progress you make in that thing, it adds it to your bar of like progress for all of the menagerie. So if your first one you make it through, like, oh, we did really crappy on the first one, you get just a tiny chunk. Second one, we almost got the boss down. We got like, you know, a third of the bar instead of like maybe a tenth or something like you get a much bigger chunk if you do well. So that was one thing. So if you do like a crappy one, a pretty good one, and a really amazing one, you might be done with those like the 3 sections done in 3 sections.
So it's not. Let me ask you a quick question. So it's not based on successful completion. It's based on progress
within each thing, which is
nice.
Cool. Yeah. So and it's random. So like you'll go through and like I've done the sword first, and then I've gone and I went down and held the little platforms. Then I've gone and done the thing where you're running through the beams of light and gathering up stuff. So like you'll go in a different order every time too. It's the matchmaking's there. I could see heroic being dicey, so I can definitely kind of see why you're gonna want the pre-made for that. And heroic is going to be a thing too. So that's the kind of the way it overall works. You go through however many encounters it takes for you to fill your bar, you fill it. Then after that, then you go to the boss. We're going to get a new boss on Tuesday. Okay. And then the week after we get another boss. So those will be potentially maybe on rotation. Maybe they'll be, I'm hoping they're random in the end, honestly. Like once the bosses unlock, I'm hoping they're random. So they give time for people to experience and understand them. And then if I go do 3 in the same day, I'm hoping they're random because fighting the same boss multiple times in the same day does get a little old if that's the only one you're going to fight all week. So I'm hoping as they unlock that those are random too, because everything else is random in the order you fight. And I've seen a couple variations and things like that. So that's actually pretty cool.
So let me ask you this in reference to last question. I know it's early, you know, you've been rocking for a few days, but I guess my question is versus escalation protocol. Where's it sitting in pocket as far as an activity, a cooperative activity so far? Like where is it? Just early feel. What's your ranking like
of those types of things?
Yeah, like obviously we got Blindwell. We got
probably for me, depending on how the bosses come in. There's at least 3. If there weren't as many bosses, but there are 3. I know Escalation has more. Escalation are above it.
You like, still got Escalation above. Okay.
No, like, because there's a lot of boss variation there. Like, yeah. So the thing, I mean, when you go through the Escalation protocol, when you fought it, you know the 7 waves. Right. Now, you're going to know the encounters in this one, but you're at least not going to face them in the same order. The waves 1 through 6 in Escalation are going to be the same, generally. Okay. Right. Minus a public event that might pop in. But those are going to be the same. Like, Wave 6 is going to be the big dudes. Wave 5 is not quite that. You've always got the crystals. Like, that doesn't ever change. This will at least be a different order. The matchmaking is there, so you've got 6 in there. And just the fact that you've got the progress, the times, the triumphs, and then the boss to fight at the end. The boss mechanics were kind of cool so far. I mean, for me right now, I want to see the bosses, but it's probably going to be the best one. Easy. Almost,
so you got
I got it above everything, honestly, right now.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Because Forte agrees with you right now. He said,
yeah, pending on bosses being in like actual random rotation, especially. But even then, probably still above it. For something that I will go grind out happily, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm hearing also like you know, it's just like just the matchmaking itself, like just having that right is a huge deal.
Matchmaking is huge. Just like, I mean, that's the thing. We jumped into an encounter. We worked on it for a little bit, and there were only like 3 or 4. I'm like, why are we getting worked? And then I stopped before we went to the next encounter. We waited. A couple of people got match made in. They joined for the second part. You pick when you get to start encounter. There are raid banners at each encounter.
Okay. Nice.
So you pick when you start it. The progress works. The timer is pushing you to try. The time is there, but it's not gonna it's not a fail state.
Yeah,
which is good. Now heroic might be different. Those might be like fail states for certain things. But yeah, like Blackwing said, right? Menagerie feels like what they learned from all of these.
Y'all excited me. Y'all excited me now. And then what I like, if y'all saying all this and it is that good too, what excites me is the grinding. Excuse me, for those rolls, right? Those rolls. That's the extra layer. And then picking. They seem like they learn. Okay, this is good. I'm excited. I gotta try. I'm bringing the laptop, so I got that 1060.
You're not gonna have time to play, man.
Bro, I got 2 nights. At night I can sneak a little, you know.
I was like, you might be able to, but I was like, you guys are gonna be doing so much. So
I'll try.
So the other piece of how that works, and sorry I've been talking, but you know.
No, you've played. I haven't.
Yeah, shout out to the sniper. It does have an amazing perk. The new beloved sniper. That's actually what it's called. It's not a beloved. The perk on that one, I forget the name. Basically reduces flinch. So that's their
wait, what's the name of this sniper? Because I was getting killed.
Beloved.
Oh, I haven't got killed by that. There's some sniper that's just destroying me right now. I'm really getting
Revoker?
upset. I haven't.
That's the new Crucible one.
But it's maybe it's an old one. Tatara or something?
Tatara Gaze?
Yeah, what's that?
That's the Black Armory one.
Oh Lord, I'm having cold sweats right now in Crucible with that because everybody's using snipers to get.
Everyone is using snipers,
and that one, man, I can't. It's beast, and I'm like shooting. I'm like, yo, where's the flinch, fam? And you still getting the snipes off.
Oh, there's like 4 of them sitting down hallways and stuff. It's ridiculous. I haven't even started that grind yet, but yep, that'll be a thing.
Yeah, get in the Crucible, but yeah, shout out to my service revolver down, and shout out to giving y'all some game right quick. Getaway artist. Woo, I got it. Woo. Nice. Yeah, it's real, feeling real special. I think I played with real quick. I think I played with Triple Wreck last night.
Oh, nice.
But it could be a fake Triple Wreck. Is he
I don't know what
I gotta find out what it is.
PC,
yeah. Somebody's frauding is him or him. I was playing. He was really good, and we won. It was great in comp. Continue.
Nice. So yeah, that's most of the menagerie. Really cool. And the end, you get to the chest. Now, the chest interacts with your chalice that you unlock through the quest line. Now, the way the chalice works, you start, and you'll have these things you unlock, and they take Imperials. And that's the currency that you're going to have, and that's just like stored basically on your chalice, so it's not anything that's going to take up an inventory slot. The first slot basically lets you pick what you're going for. So you got the purple, which you start with. Then you got the blue, the red, and the green. And in the bottom left-hand corner of the chalice, once you get the first thing unlocked, you can work on your upgrades. So, but the difference is you can kind of pick. Okay, hold on. I want to talk about this intelligently for a second. So sorry, chat, real quick.
Go for it.
I'm gonna boot up Destiny real fast.
Go. Yeah, it's all good. Boot it up. Do what you gotta do.
So that's going to be a fun thing on screen. Sorry, everybody. But the chalice has the top section, which is what you pick. Then you have the specialization. Then you can pick your masterwork. Now, so if you're going for the roles, you could be like, I want a stability masterwork with... I don't know the middle slot because that's the one I haven't unlocked yet. So that's where I'm kind of clueless. And then top one's what you pick. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get a little Bungie music for a little while, guys. Sorry. We'll get in there in a second.
Let's go.
So once you get in there, then you're going to be trying to figure out, like, what do you want to go for? But there's also, like, especially when you level up, these Imperials are going to be... So that's what I was saying. If you can... I don't know if you're going to get a chance to play, but there's, like, weekly bounties that are worth like your time to go grind, because those are going to get you Imperials and those are worth a chunk. So if you get time to do nothing else, like your Imperial quest and then doing the like weekly bounties just so you can actually get the Imperials, that's going to be crucial.
Yeah, I'm up to the part where I have to get Imperials. That's literally, I didn't know what they was. I was literally, I got a chance to play. It was like, now you got to get Imperials to do something for Carol. So I'm like, okay.
All right, so Chalice. Sorry, I'm in here looking at it.
All good.
Okay, so you've got purple runes that will get you as follows: class items, submachine guns, or sniper rifles. That's the first one you can get to. Red gems will get you gloves, boots, or power weapons. Now, when it comes to the gems that you can so you start with just the purple gems and the top thing open. That's the first things you unlock. And then from there, you get the decision in how you like level up your chalice, basically. Now, you'll eventually probably do it all over time, which is fine. But you've got improvements on the right that are power and efficiency. You get an additional weekly reward with one of them. Second one is an additional weekly reward, and playlist activities may now rarely award Imperials. As Imperials are a limited currency, that one potentially I can see being very important to do early. So I got that one.
Gotcha.
The third one in power and efficiency, which cost 8,000 Imperials, by the way, that's going to be a while. Weekly powerful rewards from the final chest in the menagerie will now drop a Season of Opulence mod. So that's how you're going to specifically go for your mods. So those will take a little while to get.
Right. I seen an extra mod slot on an Eververse item I got. I was like, what's this opulence mod? I was like, what the hell is this?
Yep.
And now it's only for specific things now, because they've added year 1 gear with opulence mod slots.
Yep. So that will be the opulence mods. That's how you get those, but that's going to be a hell of a grind.
Yes.
Then you have your rune bonus. You got 3 levels of that. Grants an additional rune from Werner 9940's bounties and Rune Finder consumables, which you can buy all the Rune Finder consumables you want. Rune bonus 2. 1 actively slotted rune is refunded upon looting the final chest in Menagerie, so your runes won't get burned as much. And then the third one of the rune bonuses grants a chance to gain an additional non-powerful reward from the final chest. You won't get the high level, but you might get another drop. So I don't know if it's going to be the same drop you're going for. Like if you're going for a sniper rifle, do you get 2? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So that, I don't know how specific that's going to be, or it's just an extra piece. Who knows? Then you've got rune compatibility, and this is the other piece. Now, I spent some of mine on rune compatibility 1, which maybe or maybe I shouldn't have done. I don't know. That unlocked my red slot runes.
Okay.
So you have to choose which ones you're going to unlock. So the red runes will do class-specific arm and leg armor and power weapons. That's the one I already did. Then the next one, that's 3,500 Imperials, is going to get you hand cannons, sidearms, and helms. And then the final one for 6,000 is going to be chest armor, fusions, and shotguns.
Okay. So basically, you have some form of control on what you're going for.
Do I want to go for all the different variants? Well, that's where I spend it all first. Do I want to be able to get more powerful drops first? That's your choice. Do I want the mods? Am I going to spend it? Do I even care about the other gear right now, or do I just want the mods to be able to put in other stuff? And that's all a thing. So your top slot is picking what you're going for. Your left-hand slot is unlocking gear specializations. So unlock this rune slot to control the specific properties of the gear defined by the top gear type. Unlocking this rune slot increases the number of runes rewarded from the treasure hunt bounties. That's fine. So if you're going for specific, says like to control the specific properties of gear. I don't know if it's because then you have the masterwork on the other side. Masterwork's going to be your masterwork perk. Do you think you can actually control the perks you're going for?
The vibe I got was, you can, because I remember when we did the last TWAB, they said, hey, we're giving you one away with handling on a sniper.
Yeah, now that one you could pick. Like the number 1 would be the sniper. I would put in the Rune of Jubilation. It's a purple one.
Right.
And then the masterwork slot, when you figure out where those go, they're like, okay, put this one in here. But there was a third one they said, and that specialization, because you have weapons and armor you can go for, which is a good thing, by the way. I wasn't sure if it was weapons or armor or both. So your specialization, is that going to be like your armor ammo reserves? Is that going to be Is that going to be your resistance, your void, arc, and solar? But I mean, you have like, you're going to eventually have 12 runes.
Yeah.
And for specializations on armor, 12 is definitely a lot more than void, arc, and solar. So I mean, so is it heavyweight? Is it a mobility armor? Is it something like that? Or did they let you get into the nitty gritty? When you go to weapons and you pick a specialization, are we talking about like a sniper with a, you know, is it an adaptive frame sniper? Or are we talking about something with like snapshot sights? I don't know that one. That's the piece I don't know. That's the one I'm unclear as to how specific you're going to be able to grind.
It's interesting. Right, so, I just love the customization. I love how excited. Once you said you ranked it over my beloved escalation protocol, I'm pumped. That's high praise coming from you because I love EP. I still would run EP, you know, any chance I got. So I'm liking what I'm hearing. And then I can't rank to run with 6, man. Just, you know, getting in the mix and trying stuff out, man. Shout out to the nerfs because I heard Dire Armankara. Oh boy. Eesh. It's real tough out here, man. You gotta get new exotics, gotta get new flows.
Oh yeah.
But I can't wait to try stuff out, man. Anything you've been messing, any builds you've been messing with specifically that feel good? Any new exotics drop for you? Anything?
No. Like somebody I was playing with was saying, like, have you guys noticed more exotics? I have 0 so far. Okay. I've played a lot of powerful drops, not one exotic goose egg on that stuff so far. So no idea on any of that stuff. So they're saying in chat, by the way, the specialization, Christian Klingberg, thank you.
Shout out to Christian.
Is just what type of weapon and armor piece you get. So like fire rate or adaptive frame or something like that. So potentially perks are still going to be the random pieces, but you're just going for, you know, do I want a sniper that's like heavy or fast or whatever. So those I think are going to be your choice, not as much on like, do I want snapshot? So kind of what I figured the random rolls would be there. So that makes sense. Clarification helps though. But yeah, so like the nice thing was having the chalice. I was going through and my 2 lowest slots were gloves and boots. And that was one of the reasons I was lucky enough and I got the red gem as one of my unlocks. Yeah. I had powerful gear and I was like, I need gloves. I went and got gloves. And I got powerful gloves. And then I was like, I spent some Imperials, I unlocked the second powerful slot, and I was like, I need boots. I have a gem for that. I ran one more time and I got boots. So nice. Like the fact that you can pick a couple low slots, it's a nice way to help. RNG may have its moments and like, I am struggling to get a class item. And once you're leveled up, it's not going to matter as much. Right. But as you're leveling, and especially if you're doing multiple characters, like, man, this one slot is sucked. Screw it, I'll just go to the menagerie and go upgrade this one right now. You can pick. So leveling up other characters will help a little bit too.
Nice. So. I'm liking what I'm hearing. I'm definitely going to that's a little Destiny on that laptop.
So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. All in all, pretty kind of awesome. Best way I can phrase that. I think the question that I think most people are going to have is when you get into what else is going to come. So we've got a new boss in the Truth Quest, and the new boss in the Iron Banner Quest, and then Heroic Mode.
Yeah, I want to know what that's
So if you have 3 bosses, and then the Heroic Mode, it seems like this is a very front-loaded season.
Yes.
Because we got the raid, we got the menagerie, Heroic Mode is June, Lumina Quest is July 2nd, and then we're talking probably a lull in the summer. Season of Solstice of Heroes is going to be that grind that, you know, everybody's going to go for. But yeah, June is going to be where it's hopping, and then you might have a little time before September. So is my feeling, because once you know, if you want to grind them all up, it's fine. But if you don't, obviously you may not need to. But yeah, you'll have most of it's pretty stacked in that first 4 weeks, actually.
Hype, man. Like what I'm hearing. Opulence, baby.
So, yeah, we are at 2.5 hours.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, we rocking. We rocked.
So, it's been an awesome podcast. Thank you, guys. Chat has been amazing in here. Before we go, I'm going to put a link in chat, and you guys can check the description in a couple other places. This isn't for me. This is just a place for you guys to do it. But as we're going to Guardian Con, and they are already supporting St. Jude's anyway, basically I just set up through a link from me, just because I'm trying to help as well from my community, is donations to St. Jude. So, like, the amount that they have raised before is amazing. The $2 point whatever million they've done before. I just have a baby campaign, But anything that you guys want to donate to St. Jude, I've got a link in chat. I'll have links all over the place for about the next couple of months, just to see at least through all of us, through Last Word, through my community. And if you got anything in yours, I can give you the link as well, just to see how much we can help contribute to St. Jude. Because,
awesome.
I mean, when it comes to cancer for children, that's one of the probably the worst things I could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And the effort they put forwards, like the amount that they've cured, like going from 20% to like 80%. I just wanted to tell you guys, if you guys do want to be generous, I know the subs are really helpful, donations are cool, but at this point right now, guys, if you want to put your money anywhere, donate there.
Yeah,
go
absolutely.
Help support that cause. I've got a link, 100% goes towards the St. Jude's Guardian Con Fund. So it's all going to St. Jude's. If you guys have anything about that, questions or anything, let me know. But that is one thing. If you're listening to this on audio, find me on Twitter, anything like that. I'll probably have the link posted. And usually on the video version of these, I will definitely have it underneath. So I wanted to shout that one out, and just say, if you guys are feeling generous right now, share the love that direction right now, because they deserve it. So
absolutely, good cause, always positive vibes, man. So, and yeah, definitely, man. Anything you guys can contribute, definitely much appreciated, man. Great cause.
But that's about all I got. We have probably filled your ears with enough speculation about what is to come. We know a lot of what is to come. The cross save and everything that's probably one of the biggest things. The free entry is really cool. And then Eris and the moon, just dude. We got a lot of happiness, and the next week is going to be, I don't know how much more they're probably going to drop on stage with Jeff Keighley. I think in E3 they're going to have they're going to talk about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like Deej will be in there explaining everything that's happening, what's free, what's coming, cross save and all that stuff. I just don't know I don't think there's going to be that much new stuff. Maybe there will be, but I'm just not holding my breath. I think they gave us all their cards right now. I think they're just doing that on the E3 stage as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think that but again, let's be honest, they don't have to go to E3. I mean, they could literally have finished this right here, and this is perfectly fine. Like, there's really no need to go. So, I think we get a regurgitation, yes, 90, 80 to 80%, 90%. I think we get a few more nuggets. That's what I'm going with. But I think, this is going to be it. Like, they definitely, for all intents and purposes, shot their shot with this. But there's some stuff that I think we might get maybe a little bit more detail. One thing about Keighley, he's going to press. He's going to press on certain questions. He's going to ask certain things.
I was like, if he's facing Deej, she's got the ultimate question ninja.
That's the battle. That's going to be the battle of marketing savvy versus interview, technique and guile. I'm going to watch the heavyweight titans avoid each other's questions.
Yeah, so E3 will get more exposure, get the free cross save, the Stadia stuff. That'll hopefully get a bit more out there. And then we'll see, as you said, if we get any more nuggets. But that'll be Tuesday. I got to look up the time. It's like middle of the day, I think, almost dead center. I think it's like noon Pacific.
Yeah, something like that. It'll be 10 a.m. Pacific. I gotta see. I gotta look my schedule up and look at it.
I know you'll know.
Yeah, I'll be there, man.
Yep. So
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll send this man some good vibes out there as his travels to E3 go smooth, and all his conferences and things he gets to talk to are awesome. Get all your exclusive videos and content, and talk to all the people and network as you should.
Brother.
So tell him where to look for all that future stuff that's coming, sir.
Yeah, man, check us out. My E3 Iron Lord podcast returns to E3, man. So excited. My favorite time of year. It's literally the Super Bowl of gaming, as far as I'm concerned. So much fun. It's almost, and also fraternal. You get to see a lot of friends and content creators that you interact with, and you get to see them. It's our yearly kind of thing. And a lot of the higher ups, executives, I mean, all over the place, man. I mean, I met a lot of Bungie guys there as well. I believe Christopher Barrett, Deej, the list goes on, and it's good to see a lot of those faces. But yeah, we're going to be out there, man. Iron Lord Podcast, YouTube. Please check us out. We're going to be doing a ton of content, some pre-recorded. We're going to do some live streams. We're going to do conference reactions. We're going to be hitting up a lot of these stuff. Bethesda's, the Microsofts, the Ubisofts, who else? PC Gaming Show. We're going to be out there as well. Sponsored by the Epic Store. And it's going to be AMD. We're going to be doing those conferences with the tech. Say hi to Deej. I'll try to get a hold of him, man. I think Luke Smith will be there, and Noseworthy most likely. So I'll try my best, man. It's going to be tough to try to. I'm a big dude, but I don't know if I can elbow all that, Secret Service out there.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a dream. You know, that's a bucket list to have an interview with those guys if possible, get some type of feedback. You know, I believe they're doing a panel. You know, I'd love to ask them some tough questions if possible. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be out there. So check us out, Iron Law Podcast YouTube. Check me out, Lord Cognito on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And also please check out lordsofgaming.net. We're gonna be doing live blogging, put a lot of stuff up there as well. And besides, I'm also going to start putting the last word up there as well if you miss it, as well as King doing King of the Statues. He's got Infinity Gauntlet up right now, man. Check it out. It's amazing. It's amazing. And the last thing I'll plug is for all you Switch owners, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, we're doing a fantastic giveaway. Please go to lordsofgaming.net, go to the Ultimate Alliance King of Statues, and you'll see the giveaway in there as well. So check us out, man. We're gonna be busy, but we're gonna be violent a lot. And I got one last exclusive, a blockbuster that I can't talk about right now that I'm gonna get to see behind the scenes. But man, I'm excited. The minute I can get the lid off of that one, I won't be Engadget. I'm not breaking NDA. And I will tell you guys exactly. Yeah, shout out to Engadget breaking all type of NDAs today. But yeah, man. Bender said, "You could just go ahead and give me that
Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Just go ahead.
Yeah,
you won. Good job.
Let me put the link in your chat. So check out King of Statues while you're there. At the bottom of the article, you will see our giveaway through Gleam. So get in there, get your shot to win it. It's going to be the Switch game of the summer, in my opinion. I'm also going to be hitting that up to Nintendo and see what they're doing. They got a lot of good stuff to show. But yeah, I'm happy, man. Salute to E.
Yeah, throw the link up in there again.
Thank you, bro. Throw it one more time.
Yeah, throw it up one more time.
All right. That is the article, and it will give you the link directly for the giveaway as a little bonus. And
sweet.
Guys, you have that so you can try to win it and check it out. But yeah, man, that's what it got, man. Shout out to E. We did a nice little impromptu. We had tons of news the last 2 days. This is fun, man. This is real fun.
It's been crazy in the world of gaming. Keep your eyes glued on the internet next week because it's all going to be out there. This man will be covering a lot of it for you, so stay tuned. And yeah, I mean, I'm pumped, excited, and you guys know where to find me. Twitter, Twitch right here, YouTube if you're watching me there. If you're on the audio platform, come find me on any of those. And that just keeps growing as well. So thank you guys very much for everything. Ebontis, EBONTIS. Google it, you'll find me. It's easy.
Yes.
But I'll probably be streaming. I do want to try and do the raid this weekend, so I will definitely see if I can squeeze that one in. I want to see if I can get that jacket as an option. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but looks like a nice one I might have to try and go for. So,
gotta do it, brother. Gotta do. I want to see you stream it.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. You guys have all been amazing. And for episode 62, for an impromptu on a Thursday, it has been the last word.